I have a topic for the day. Well, really for this segment. But I would like to wish everybody a good morning. And I would like to, they say don't condescend to your audience. You got to be real. They'll know. They can smell fakery. I sure hope it comes through as legit. I don't say it enough, but
here comes Jay.
Here comes Jay. Thank you all for tuning in. You have many different choices. You have. Well, I don't want to throw them out there because then someone will be like, "Oh,
they have no choices.
Let me do that."
This is the only choice.
That's it. You choose to listen to us, or maybe you're listening to Jason despite me, and that's fine.
Hi there.
I don't care. You could hate me as long as you're listening. I am good. In fact, send things in. I'll sign it. Send in something like a picture of me with like devil horns and say, I can't stand you. Thanks for listening.
You're getting punched by Sugar Ray.
Yes. It's a new profile photo. Social media. I don't know how long I'll keep that up there. By the way, again, good morning, everybody, and love you. It is Wednesday, August 17. Message to everyone. I appreciate you. I love you. And I appreciate the concern. I've had multiple people reach out. They're like, dude, are you okay? That wasn't cool, man. What Sugar Ray did. Like, that was messed up. Like, you could tell that really hurt. And are you okay? Yes. First off, I'm not a glass figurine, mind you. I can take a punch, which I found out for the first time in my life the other day. Secondly, it's a wonderful story. I mean, he literally could have like bloodied my lip and it would have sucked. But for the rest of my life, I can say Sugar Ray Leonard bloodied my lip. And thirdly, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. One person I'll blow up because she's so sweet. Canby Brown called me yesterday and I had not talked to her. She's like, Dave, are you like literally
how's your spleen?
Right. She FaceTimed me, which was like, okay. And she's like, I just wanted to see, are you okay? Like, I know you're playing. Are you really okay? Are you like, she thought she's like, I couldn't watch it. It was so terrible. I was like, Canby, we're laughing. She's like, you weren't laughing. Well, I was after
awkward
that.
Laugh.
Yeah, a little awkward. Here's my topic, because coming today and, you get into work and you're doing the thing and you're working and all that. And, there's different things that you have to deal with on a daily basis.
Right.
Sometimes hurdles or speed bumps you didn't realize, like, I don't know, having a surprise new member of the show for today who's like 14, who's like, oh, hey, the generations. And isn't know what he's talking about. Didn't see, was like, what do you say? The greatest Hard Knocks was the Browns one. And you and I looked at each other like, huh? And I know Jay and I made eye contact. And it was like, no, the greatest Hard Knocks was obviously the Ravens in year one. And he was like literally 3 years old.
Right.
And then that made me angry because he was 3 years old. And I fully remember that. But that anger got turned around because we have new microphone covers.
We do.
And I get really like, that excited me beyond what it probably should have. Because then I go, they really do care.
Okay, question though.
Yes.
That is yours.
Yes.
This is mine.
Yes.
How many shows until you forget that?
That this is.
Because that should go with you or somewhere here, because then Nick or whoever, Sepp, whoever gets a chance to use that microphone will have a different one.
I wonder if Sepp gets his own.
Well, there are some extras.
There are some extras.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but not the logo you want.
No.
Okay.
But will you forget that today?
Let me ask you this. So the red one I've always used. Yeah. Do you remember seeing that anywhere when I'm not here? I'm asking.
Yeah.
You do? Because I usually bring it home.
What was the one that was over there? A separate red one?
Yeah, I have two. I do. I truly. There's two that I have. And
because that one has its own personality.
Yeah, it's. I don't like it.
It's in the trash can if you'd like to show it to our audience.
Oh, the red one?
Yeah.
When you say its own personality,
I don't know if it's trash.
Is that because there's literally like 14 gallons of spit and food on it?
There's something on there.
And here's the thing. I know no one else will ever use my microphone cover because I'm sure it also has a bouquet to it.
Mm-hmm.
Years and years of smoky coffee breath, a piece of a Nutrigrain bar. It's actually, it's actually interesting. And I was talking, you know what? nope, I won't say her name, but I was talking to a local television personality about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And that sounded like name dropping, but I don't feel like that.
Well, we didn't get the name.
We're in the business, and
the name was dropped.
Okay. And I just kind of remarked, like, what's weird is that more people on TV. I started saying don't accidentally swear, but we don't. You have that button you turn off in your head. Knock on wood. But I said, I'm surprised we don't see more TV people spit or drool randomly.
Yeah. Just that's life. That stuff happens.
It happens. You're talking, like a little piece of spit comes out of your mouth, and it's super embarrassing. But even more embarrassing when you're doing the news. Dude, she didn't lose it, but she was like, shut up. Don't even say that.
Yeah.
Like super, super superstitious. And I thought about that. What a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Like, what if you're doing like a real, like we talk about sports and dumb things. What if you're like 14 people and there was a fire and this is a horrible story and
yeah.
And you just drool. Right. What do you do? And then you try to laugh it off.
I don't think you laugh at that story. I think you just try to keep it going.
That's why, other than my face, that's a huge reason I can never be in TV and I can never be in serious radio, is because I laugh at inappropriate times, and I'm not laughing about the thing. Like, of course, a horrible story is not funny.
Right.
But and I know there's more people like me. Sometimes when I get uncomfortable, I snicker or I laugh, and it's like I don't know if it's a defense mechanism, but you can't do that. You do that on the news, on the TV news, it's viral. And everyone's like, he laughed at the fire.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I didn't laugh at the fire. I literally was thinking of something else.
Yeah, he didn't start the fire.
He didn't start the fire. I played that song for my daughter the other day in the car, and she was so impressed.
Yeah.
The first time, she's like, I don't understand any of this. And I went, that's actually a great point. So then I brought up the lyrics, and I played it again for her to follow along. And she was blown away. And it's neat through the eyes of a child, like our guy in there. Yeah. It's neat through the eyes of a child how she was like, absolutely blown away that he could fit all those lyrics in there.
Right.
Like, how do you get them
smoothly? And it just keep rattling them off because they don't come back again.
Right.
Except for the hook, right?
Yes. Except for the hook brings you back. That's what Blues Traveler said. So then, and this is where it was one of those proud dad moments because she's really just starting to get into music. We talked about the Radiohead debacle the other day. And she goes, Daddy, which one do you think was tougher to write and tougher to sing? We Didn't Start the Fire, or It's the End of the World as We Know It by REM. And I first off almost crashed my car, the fact that she would be able to pop out It's the End of the World as We Know It by REM. And then I thought, that's actually a really good, you're familiar with the song? Yeah. Okay.
Well, just the one part feels like the big challenge of that song, unless I'm missing something.
End of the World as You Know It?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
sped up part.
Very sped up. And I think the Billy Joel song was probably tougher to write.
Yeah.
I think The End of the World as We Know It might be tougher to sing, though. I don't know. I've never tried either at karaoke.
Maybe that's the challenge. Your next challenge, to sing them both at karaoke. You and your daughter together.
Oh, my goodness.
Which you've done before. There's videos of you two singing together.
Once upon a time, which, by the way, would never happen now because she's fully entered the Daddy. Everything's embarrassing. This is stupid. Yeah. I don't like it. And no, like I can't even, you got
a few more years of that phase.
Friday, we were in the swimming pool. Her entire life since she was a baby. There's a thing we do. She'll get in the pool. She'll, swim around like every little kid. And then I hold her like a baby. And I just kind of like frolic around. Yeah. And that's like I'll hold, and I'm talking to her and all that while I'm just kind of giving her a ride around the pool. 100 out of 100 times, that's what we do.
Not cool anymore?
The other day she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I always say, let's go for a ride. She's like, I'm too old for rides.
But you know what'll be rewarding is there'll be a time when she's, I don't know, 22, and she'll go, hey, Dad, let's go for a ride.
Do we have a catch?
And then you'll be slow, tear rolling down. That's not tear. That's from the pool.
From the pool. I have this conversation from time to time with them, generally my daughter. And maybe this is bad parenting. I don't know. But in situations like that, I say, listen, you don't do anything for mother and I. Like, this is a 100% give relationship. Yes. You take, we give. Yeah. We buy everything. We're your Uber. It's a second job, especially at that age with band and soccer and all this. Mm-hmm. We give and give and give. You have no real currency. I don't want your money. The only way you can pay us back truly is with attitude, good attitude, and affection. That's it. I'm an easy mark. Give me a couple kisses and hugs, and I'm yours. I'm in your hands.
It worked for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's all I want. Right. That's all. Why is it that a child cannot recognize, even a teenager can't recognize that and go, for the low price of a few kisses and hugs.
Yeah.
I can be a good kid.
I think it's peer pressure because I would say I didn't have that phase that long with my mom, but like I would go with my mom. Oh, you're going to the store. I want to go to the store. I want to do this. I want to go. Yeah. And then it was like, I don't know, maybe a friend of mine, if it was you, was like, you're with your mom, huh? And then it's that one day of peer pressure. Oh, and then I don't want to go with my mom anymore. And it didn't last that long, but it's a thing. And I don't know why.
Imagine being an age that we all were where it's you're with your mom.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Oh no, I'm with my mom.
Right. But there was a time.
Once upon a time.
Yep.
I can't imagine not wanting to be with my mother, and I cannot imagine having an air conditioning issue and not going to my good friends at American Energy. That's right. And I can't imagine getting a new HVAC system and not getting $2,500 in rebates. My goodness. Yeah, exactly. That's worth a kind of a halfway solid whistle.
I faded out. I hit the mic off.
It was very breathy. Hey, thank you very much. Boy, it's been a long time since we've had the. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to do that again. So maybe Friday Funny Games. $2,500 off. Now is the time to replace your system. Get $2,500 off on a new HVAC home system installation with 0% financing and payment plan options available. There's no reason to keep putting off making your home a place of comfort for you and your family. Do what I did. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Offer expires August 31st. That's got less than 2 weeks. Don't wait. Call today, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. If you're looking to replace your HVAC system, now is the time to contact American Energy. Don't settle with a high quote from the other guys. They're lame. Get a free quote on your system from your second opinion partner. Certain restrictions apply. Cannot be combined with other offers or specials, but why would you want to? A+ with the Better Business Bureau, serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Air conditioning, heating, tune-ups, installs, duct cleaning, replacement, diagnostic services for residential, commercial HVAC customers, and more. 520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. The Giants are doing their thing again, and we get the whole NBA schedule today. We're pausing for 30 seconds. Count it. Leading off is next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa. Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility, and Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality, and Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first. Let's do it. It's time for Leading Off. Brought to you by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, where for over 60 years, their name means a great deal in Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovedodge.com. Here's cut number 1.
Swing. He hits a high drive to center field. Going way back there. Still going back. Thomas at the wall. He leaps. This game is over. For the second time in 3 days, the Giants hit a 2-run homer in the last of the 9th inning, and they have won it again.
Love it.
Don't do this to me, Giants.
Nah, but I love it. Love it for you're thinking big picture, which totally understandable. That's why you have to enjoy the journey. I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think this win streak's going to propel them anywhere. But on a single game, that's awesome. It's great to have a walk-off home run.
It was great.
John Miller was into it. That's a great call.
That was an elevated audio.
Yes. Fun moment for Crawford.
Gotta be more live. That was an elevated adios, Pelota. Yeah, he had a great call. You're right. It was a wonderful moment. Brandon Crawford, who's been suffering and dealing with injuries all year long. 5 games in a row the Giants have won.
Hey.
They are 8-2. They've won 8 of 10, 8-2 in their last 10.
So and there's a chance.
Oh, just when I'm out.
Right.
They reel me back in. They're just 4.5 behind the wild card spot. And here's the thing. Here's why, like, if this was a similar situation, just extrapolate what you need to extrapolate. And this was the Kings. I know what's going to happen. But with the Giants, it's like, could they make up 4.5 games and get into the playoffs and make a little bit of noise? Yes, of course they can. Right. It's the Giants. Right. They do these things. And I don't want to open my heart. Who say open your heart to me? Was that Madonna? Yeah. I'll be the lock and you turn the key. Something like that. Yeah.
I'll hold the lock and you turn the key.
Is that a euphemism? I don't know.
Open your heart to me.
Yeah, but you're right. In the moment.
Yes. Fantastic moment.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
In a vacuum.
Right.
The Giants won and it was fun.
It was fun.
It was neat. We'll have more
today,
on that later.
We're all Giants.
Yes. I like that. You too. You're a Giant. Jay's.
Hey, they gained a game.
The Giants gained a game on the Dodgers. Here we come.
Didn't they?
Probably. I don't know. Probably not, actually. The Dodgers. When was the last time the Dodgers lost? Well, that was last night.
See?
Imagine that. Game. Imagine losing. I can't. I'm a Giants fan. Number 2.
Cut number 2.
Barnes gets low post position. Dumps it out to Fox. Left wing 3 on the way. Score it for De'Aaron Fox. Fox has 25. That's the 9th three-pointer the Kings have made in 23 attempts. The lead goes back to 8 at 80-72.
They were ahead.
They were ahead.
Nice.
And probably didn't stay ahead.
Hey.
The full schedule will come out today. I actually thought, this is weird. Usually it leaks that everyone will have their stuff the day before. We told you who they would open against and when. That's fine. With Portland on the 19th. But it's been very, like, I'm trying to squeeze my folks, and I've learned exactly one new thing since yesterday, and it's such a lame fact, especially with the schedule and how we all know it's going to be 82, 41, and 41. But I can break this news. They're going to have 9 home games in January, 3 home games in February, 9 home games in March.
Okay.
So, like, I don't have opponents or dates.
Right.
Just fun fact.
Yeah.
9, 3, and 9. Now, the 3, you brought up Disney on Ice, I'm sure, All-Star break and all that. But that's a good amount of home games for a couple of months.
Right.
You're going to have to make that up somewhere.
Absolutely. And the thing about the schedule that happens, I think why we've seen some of the leaks, it's a lot of times this is given out to a few people in what is the term? Embargo. Like,
yes,
okay, here's the info, but
don't share.
Don't share. And then obviously a few people have shared.
They share.
The only, I don't know what year this was. I want to say it was about, well, let's see, whatever year Isaiah Thomas was here and then he went to Phoenix.
Okay.
Was the only time that I was privy to the schedule ahead of time that whatever the first schedule I got changed because I was ready, like whatever it was, 12 o'clock today, and I had the tweet ready to go. Kings to open the season. Wow, against Isaiah Thomas in Phoenix. Boom, right at 12 o'clock, sent it, and the schedule changed. I went, delete, and they're now opening in Houston or whatever it was. And I went, oh, okay.
So, well, the one of the problems with this year's schedule and why it's it'll come out today, it's fine, but literally, it's Kevin Durant. Like Kevin Durant has screwed up the schedule release because the NBA was really hoping that thing would get resolved. So when he does eventually get traded, assuming he will, they would be able to have Kevin Durant's returned to Brooklyn for the first time, Christmas Day.
Yeah, they wanted all those, and that's been talked about since Vegas. Everybody like Sam and a bunch of people out there like, man, the schedule is going to come out now anyway.
Yes,
but like the fine tuning of it, really, it's placing those leverage games. Like, okay, where are we going to put him? Well, Durant's going to get traded any day now.
Yes,
and he hasn't been traded.
Number 3.
Cut number 3.
First pitch to Bubba Thompson is hit well to right field. Bolt goes back, but he's there and he's got it, and that is the ball game. So the A's finally get themselves a win as their 9-game losing streak comes to an end. Nice game tonight all around as the Athletics beat the Rangers.
Yay! Here come the A's. Don't do this to me, A's. The A's are now just 20 games out of the wild card spot.
Yes.
Hey, they won
Stay
a
hot.
game. Yeah, stay hot. The A's have not lost since the day before yesterday.
Yeah. First day. What was that tweet yesterday from our guy, the Bay Area sports guy, Steve Berman? First time in 30 days that both the A's and Giants won on the same day. That's crazy.
Actually ridiculous.
Yeah. That's bad.
That is bad. The Mariners and Rays at the top of the wild card with the Blue Jays and Orioles, Twins, and White Sox all within a game.
Okay.
Which is
that makes it fun.
It does make it fun. The National League is not as mushed up. There are just a few fighting there. But the A's are, listen, it's a terrible year.
Yeah, they know what they are right now.
They know what they are. Is Mark Kotsay the problem? You know what's funny? Mark Kotsay could be a horrific manager. He really, truly could. And there's literally no way to tell because of the A's roster.
Yeah.
Like how.
Or he could be great.
Or he could be wonderful. How do you possibly great? Mark Kotsay, listen, we met, talked to Mark, who's great.
Yeah.
I mean, zero disrespect at all. But
Carmichael Dave.
Carmichael Dave, that's what he said. I don't throw this out lightly. I feel like you or I could like Freaky Friday into his body back in at the start of the year. Do you think the A's record would be much different?
I doubt it.
I don't think so. I don't at all. Maybe win a couple more, but I don't think it'd be different.
Yeah. Same with Bob Melvin if he was still there, right?
That's the part I don't know.
Okay.
That's the part I mean,
we're not talking 20 game difference.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I like how new guy, I can tell in his tone when Jay's yelling at him to yell at us.
It was different.
We gotta.
That was Jay saying that.
We got a break. If you are a baseball player or perhaps any athlete whatsoever playing in a game, leave your phone in the dugout. We have some fallout from last week. We'll get to it next.
Live and local. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
Do you ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on the computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140. Got a take? Make sure it's a hot one.
Take a shot right now.
Call or text at 916-339-1140. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
So you remember a couple weeks ago, the Pirates infielder was sliding into third, Rodolfo Castro.
I thought this was funny.
And his phone popped out
Yes.
of his a big, I mean, it looked like an iPhone 12.
It was like a
Max.
tablet.
Yeah. He had an iPad in his pocket. And
Is that an iPad in your pocket?
it pops out, and umpire points to it. It's kind of funny. Then we talked about it. I said, listen, I don't want to be this guy, but I got to be this guy here. There needs to be a pretty, not severe as in, double-digit games, but they're going to have to punish him. They're going to have to punish him. This is going to be a thing. And it turns out it is a little bit, because not only are they suspending him for a game, which I actually think he's getting off kind of easy.
They're taking his phone away?
They're gonna. I don't know if they've officially decided to do this or not. But I was reading that they might do or they were looking at doing a forensic audit type of thing on the phone just to see what's come in, what's come out.
That's smart.
Listen, I in my heart believe. Excuse me, here we go. Baseball examined the activity on Castro's phone and found no evidence that had been used during the game before the incident, which is great. And that distinction is very important. That's probably why
He was just playing Candy Crush.
right. Probably he was doing the little slots game.
Yes.
And I'm glad baseball did that. And I agree. 1 game suspension. Plus, this is in the news. I would almost certainly bet that there's a memo sent out to all players, coaches, and staff. But in light of the Astros and Red Sox scandals, in light of tipping pitches and all that, just imagine a world where you have your phone in your pocket and you have somebody that's sitting there and they're sending you signals for strikes. Right. And it vibrates in your pocket and now you're tipped off and nobody could possibly know. Nobody's going to hear or feel the vibration but you.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you wanted to do something like that, the technology exists where you could put a little nipple on your stomach, a little plastic nipple that is Bluetooth and have that buzz away. You wouldn't want to do it with a phone, but you could. And it's almost like, it's not the PED things, but it's the biggest scandal baseball's had since PEDs. So you probably should stay on top of that. Here's some sound.
Castro slides into third. His phone comes out of his pocket. Now that's a first. And there's Adam Hammer. Dude, your phone is down there. Hey, right there.
I'm glad it worked out this way. I'm sorry
Sure.
you got suspended for a game, but you kind of have to do that. And
right.
All is well that ends well. It's fine. It seems like a very innocent mistake.
I think so. In the game, I mean, they're not making the biggest deal of it, but it's weird that it took. I mean, that was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You pretty much could decide the next day, or 2 days.
I feel like part of that was the examination.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyone named Alexa or Siri is probably, I would say, the 3 most annoyed people over the last few years at their own names. Actually, I'm going to make a Mount Rushmore.
Oh, no.
Mount Rushmore.
Of annoying names.
If you have this name, your life has become very annoying sometime over the last few years.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go with Siri, probably number 1.
Okay.
Okay. Alexa.
Which I feel like there's more of those.
Yeah. More Alexa, number 2. Number 3. That's where it gets tough, but I think you'll agree with me.
COVID.
Karen.
Oh, yeah.
And number 4 on this list. So we have Siri,
Karen might be 1.
Alexa, Karen, in no particular order. Brandon. It's been a tough year for Brandon's. That's all I'm saying.
That's a pretty good Mount Rushmore.
I don't think there's another one that would go on that. Unless you're a little.
Well, there are a lot of Karens.
Yes.
People named Karen.
Yes.
A lot of people named Brandon.
Yes.
A decent amount of people named Alexa. Not that many named Siri, but that doesn't mean there are.
Sure. Not a lot of Siris, but Siri made an appearance.
Yes.
the Yankees-Rays game.
Jose Siri is going to be the hitter.
Siri, I didn't catch that. Will you please say that again?
And how many times is that going to happen now?
Right.
How many you say Siri, it pops up? How many? I think you can change what the name is on there, so they may.
Oh, okay.
They may need to do that. Speaking of names, I found this yesterday. You know, I'm fascinated with creative names. I found lacrosse.
Oh, I saw your post on that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These names are wonderful. These are real names of people who play lacrosse or played. I think this list is a little older. Shackelford Stanwyck from the Stanwyck family, which had a New York Times article about them. The Stanwyck family
is that Barbara?
It's a parent. Well, I mean, maybe it's related somehow. The Stanwyck family is like lacrosse royalty.
Oh.
The sisters are Sheehan Stanwyck. This is my favorite. Wick Stanwyck.
Of course.
You know what you're doing. Wick Stanwyck. Now, how is there not a Stan Stanwyck? But spoiler, there's not. Coco Stanwyck.
All lacrosse legends?
All from the same family of lacrosse. They all played lacrosse. They all played at Georgetown, the three sisters. Covey Stanwyck is a senior attacker at Boston College. The eldest son is Tad Stanwyck. Steele, he was a co-captain at Rutgers. Steele Stanwyck won the Towarton Award, which is lacrosse's highest honor. Eric Hasseltine would know all about this. And then you've got Wells Stanwyck to go along with what I say, Shackelford Stanwyck.
Yeah.
It goes by Shack. No
So this
joke.
is the Stanwyck tree.
This is Stanwyck tree. Shack Stanwyck. Quinn Commandant.
Wait, excuse me?
Quinn.
Oh, Quinn. I thought you said coin.
No, Quinn Corn. Quinn Commandant. Declan Smartwood. Okay, this one I don't know. It says IV Stucker, but it's literally IV. So it could also possibly be For Stucker. I don't know if they're using Roman numerals.
4.
You think it's For Stucker? Sounds bad. Holden Rosengrupp with 2 P's. This is at Tufts University.
Yes.
Dar Sleeper.
Dar?
D-A-R.
Sleeper.
Dar Sleeper. Sky Dupree. It's actually probably
That's pretty
most
cool name.
boring one. Yeah. Taggart Eimer. E-Y-M-E-R.
They watch Beverly Hills
Cops.
Yeah,
I think I thought it. Yep. Dallas Creamer Jr. I'm reading it. It goes to Stevens. I'm just reading the names.
Junior, not the second.
Colby Hamway. Wheaton Jacoboyce. Jacko Boyce. Wheaton. This seriously is a skit. I mean, it's been a skit, but this is lacrosse. We need Key and Peele back.
Yes.
And we need them to do lacrosse.
Yeah.
Tanner Elwood. Corson Keeley. Caden Keitlinger. Witten McCune. Con Curry.
Concurry.
Conkery. Con, C-O-N-N, and then curry like Steph. Also sounds like a dish.
Yes.
Con Curry. Gage Barber. This is probably my favorite. Rains Schamberger. How great of a name is that?
How's Rain spelled?
Like Tim. R-A-I-N-E-S.
Oh.
Rains Schamberger.
Schamberger.
And Hampton Brandon. Rain Schamberger, a freshman at Duke University. These are all real lacrosse people. I actually cross-checked and looked them up when I saw this list.
You lacrosse checked them?
I cross-checked them, thank you, because I thought they might be fake.
Rains Schamberger.
Rains Schamberger. You know what? I don't know much about Rains Schamberger, but I can take a guess. He's a Hobbit guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
big.
No doubt.
Big, you know what they say? BTE, big truck energy. I can guarantee you. Rains Schamberger is a Hoblet guy. So, hey, Rains, right now at our good friends Hoblet, you can save up to $12,000 off MSRP off the new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs or 2.9% APR for 72 months with up to $10,750 in savings. Rains Schamberger, would you like to save $7,500 off MSRP on those new 2022 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cabs? Yes, I would, Dave. Okay, great. Also, 2.9% APR for 72 months with up to $7,000 in savings. Oh, my gosh. Maybe that's why Hoblet's the number one Ram truck dealer in California, number 3 in the United States. And whether you are a lacrosse player or not, if they don't have your truck in stock, use the inbound sold list, secure your perfect truck, reserve one that's already on the way. Listen here. Here's the big deal for all the Schambergers of the world. No dealer markup on the most popular Ram and Jeep models. You got other dealers out there that are adding dealer markup to MSRP. I saw one online the other day, literally doubled the price. It was 100% markup on one of those new Jeeps. That's what other dealers are doing. Hoblet's actually offering discounts. I tell Chad all the time, raise your prices. What are you doing? You're going to go out of business, Chad. And he says, shut up and let me do the talk. I know what I'm doing. And he does because Hoblet's is a J.D. Power Customer First Award winners for excellence. Number 1 in 2022 for J.D. Power's initial quality study. These trucks, great gas mileage. Ram up to 32 miles per gallon with Ram Eco Diesel. Jeeps, many get up to 25 miles a gallon on the highway. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com, and you tell them your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. Here come the A's, the baby A's, that is. Let's see who we're talking about right after the L's.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Sactown Sports 1140 is broadcasting live on YouTube. Check out the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and the Cattles and Rami Show. Plus, get exclusive content. Search Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Flex. It's a better way to watch. It began on the 13th of August. It ended on
Fourth most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
You know, much of the world was a flutter when Elon Musk started talking about buying Twitter. And then that actually turned into a thing where he was buying Twitter, and it was like a $44 billion offer. And now it's a thing where he doesn't want to do it unless they do this thing. And they're going to court and blah, 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 blah. So any of you on social media know that not only is Elon Musk the richest guy in the world right now, but he's also very eccentric, says a lot of things. But generally when he says something, there's some sort of truth behind it. So people in the sports world kind of freaked out yesterday because one of the biggest brands in the world when it comes to sports, Manchester United, Elon Musk tweeted out he's buying them.
Manchester United?
He's buying Manchester United. He's in the middle of, as I said, the legal battle over Twitter right now. But he sent a tweet out. He was actually talking about his political affiliations. I think he said something like, I like left-wing Republicans and right-wing Democrats. I think it's something like what the tweet said. And then he said, also, I'm buying Manchester United. You're welcome. Now, Manchester United's owners are the same owners of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Glazer family. And generally, they've been criticized more than not over the years, especially recently. They've had some success early on, but Manchester United, I think they lost 4-0 over the weekend. They've just been terrible ever since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, their longtime manager. I listen, he went on later to say this is, I'm joking. I'm not buying any sports teams. I think it would be incredibly interesting if, Elon Musk craves the spotlight. And so he's been, first off, he gets a lot of it because he's rich. He gets a lot of it because he owns Tesla and does the rockets with SpaceX, blah, 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 blah. Elon Musk could very easily get into. Elon Musk, by the end of the month, could have a deal to buy one team in every league and be fine with it. And it doesn't matter what the team is. You're talking about a guy that is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, or, at least well over $100 billion. So let's say he bought an NBA, an NFL, and a Major League Baseball team. You're talking somewhere probably, depending on the team, of course, in the neighborhood of 13-14 billion, which is probably about 10% of his net worth, if that.
Still plenty to go.
And it's not like it's a lost asset. I mean, you have the equity. It's an investment. Elon Musk in the sports world would certainly give us a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't necessarily think it's good, but you're talking about a loud guy who is very much into innovation and who has no problem throwing his weight around. I think that's just something I want to put in the back of my head and marinate on, because a guy like that, for example, in the NBA, he's going to be all over the place. But he would be the most disruptive. Elon Musk would be the most disruptive sports owner, I think, ever, including George Steinbrenner, including Mark Cuban early on.
Just based on his personality, not just strictly money.
Well, the fact that he has so much money and influence behind it is what along with his personality, is what would make him so disruptive.
But, I don't feel Ballmer is.
No, I don't either. But Ballmer, listen, I know it's all relative. Ballmer is a pauper compared to Elon Musk. Ballmer, I want to say, has 25% of Elon Musk's worth. I have to, but also Steve Ballmer is very vociferous.
Yes.
He's out there.
Yes.
But that's like what we see of him at games.
Oh, he's just a fan of the game. The story we told in Vegas, he was at the Kings Orlando Magic game, and there was a dunk by who was it? Roden, some random summer league guy, and he got up and fist pumped like that was the Clippers in the playoffs.
Right.
And went, man, this guy just loves basketball.
He just loves basketball. Yeah. He's one of those high energy guys. Yeah. But you never see him. He's on social media. Right. He's not out there making these outlets. Elon Musk wants to change everything. Yeah. And a lot of that's great.
Hopefully for the good.
Yeah, hopefully for the good. Speaking of change for the good, Shea Langoliers was called up yesterday by the A's. Doubled on the first pitch he saw in the major leagues. Cool. I always think that's really cool.
Yeah.
first at bat, for especially first pitch, whatever. I'm trying to think famous first at bats. Oh, Will
Can
Clark.
you think of one?
Will Clark, Nolan Ryan. Yeah, that was neat. Although not the first pitch, by the way.
No.
Nolan Ryan's first pitch, he throws. The first pitch Will Clark sees in the major leagues, it's from Nolan Ryan, and it's an off speed. And if you go back and you look at the tape, Will Clark, rookie, first pitch, Nolan Ryan, Will Clark starts laughing, and he turns to the catcher, and you can't tell what they say. He later went on to say, "What? Why is he throwing me an off speed pitch?
Yeah.
That's hilarious." And then bing, bang, boom.
Imagine if Will Clark, and he never would have done this because he had a great career, but it's like, you know what? I'm done. I faced Nolan Ryan. I homered. I'm going to retire. We would never know him as Will Clark that we know now, but they'd be like, man, who was that guy, that rookie that homered off Nolan Ryan and then said, you know what? I'm going to finish 1 for 1 in my career with a home run against Nolan Ryan.
It's called it quits.
Yes.
All-time lifelong leader in batting average. Because I got to think.
Home run percentage.
100%. Yeah. I can't imagine in the history of baseball there's anyone that has a 1,000 batting average. Like, unless they got hurt or something.
Yeah, there could be someone that had 1 at bat or 2. But you start, I mean, that's the thing about a rookie like Langoliers, getting a double, Clark homering. Like, you could also start 0 for 26 and be a great prospect, be a Hall of Famer. Baseball is difficult.
That would have been like the reverse Moonlight Graham.
Yeah.
Right? You get the one hit and then you yourself retire.
Right.
That would have been.
And the fact that it was off Nolan Ryan.
Like, you could beat that by the all-time no-hitter king. All-time home run king, Nolan Ryan. He is, Langoliers is not Nolan Ryan, the A's top prospect. He's the 28th rated prospect overall in baseball. Here's the problem for A's fans. How do you possibly you want to get excited over this? Is this the next generation of swinging A's?
Yep.
Or is this just simply somebody that's going to be on display and they're effectively, and I mean no disrespect here, they just got called up to AAA. They're playing for the AAA ball club until the Yankees or Dodgers or God knows who grabs him in 3 years.
Yeah, we say this, but at some point they're going to change their philosophy. I don't see it happening under current management.
I don't either.
Ownership, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I know there's been a seed thrown out there. Oh, if they get the new park, they'll be bigger players. I think you are who you are. Right? I mean, do you really think if and I want them to get the new park. I want that all to work out beautifully for them. But I don't think they're going to be big spenders.
No, I don't either. I think that there are this is going to go down as one of the biggest. You can't call it. It's not a scam because everything's transparent.
Well, and they've shown they don't have to be the biggest spenders. I think there's some charm in what they've done.
Sure.
You just don't want to become what you just said. Like, develop Langoliers. He becomes that young all-star, and then whoop, Cardinals, Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox get him. And you went, what was the whole point behind that? And then he just follows the line of succession of Donaldson and Tejada and Giambi and just go down the line.
Well, the problem there, amongst many, is Billy Beane has been the GM of the A's since 1997. That's 25. You've had 25 years of Billy Beane, and I don't know whether to say you've wasted it or you've gotten the most out of it because they've been moneyball-y pretty much the entire time. I've always wanted. Can I see Billy Beane with a salary cap?
Right.
Can I see Billy Beane with some purse strings?
With the Dodgers bankroll?
Even the Giants or Cubs or just give him a top half. Yeah. And what can he do? I have no idea what Billy Beane is. By the way, the A's, it wasn't all good news. Paul Blackburn, all-star, shut down for the year.
Yeah.
And they released Steven Piscotty. We've dealt with Steven many times. He's wonderful.
Awesome, dude.
And I think, I don't know, maybe other people don't. I will never forget the time and place where he was dealing with his mother and her sickness, and everybody just rallied around him. And it was, I think you didn't have to be a baseball fan or an A's fan to be emotional about that as well. So we wish Steven all the luck in the world. Tiger Woods, he showed up and, I don't know, laid the lumber on the LIV tour. That's what people want to think. We'll recap what we know about the players only meeting yesterday next.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami. Interviews, podcasts, and more. They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and
Microphone and then boom with Jason Ross.
Jay, hey, my headset's.
Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
I'm enjoying this show. Jason Ross, Jay Mars, Child McGee. That's his name. Child McGillicuddy. His name's Kyle, but I don't like that because there was already a Kyle.
Okay.
He's
Kyle too.
The late Kyle Madsen.
The late?
Well, of this station.
Okay.
I mean, he's still with us.
He said his birthday.
He's passed on to another station. The Kyle is a guy. If I say Kyle, people will get confused.
Wait,
but Kyle.
Yeah.
I think Child McGillicuddy. We were just going over lacrosse names.
Yes.
I've named other people in this market. I've helped with that. Noodles.
Yeah.
Turtle.
Yeah. That one did last for a while, but it's changed over time.
It has. I still call him Turtle. He's in my phone as Turtle.
Okay.
Sean Cunningham.
Yeah.
Of course. I did not name Deuce, but Deuce was Deuce, and it was my fault that Deuce became
because
Deuce.
he was Dave also from Carmichael. And then I don't know who.
Tim Montemayor.
Oh, was Monty?
It was Tim Montemayor.
Okay.
Monty did that. Monty gets full credit. And I think I'm 99.9% sure. You can ask Deuce, but I'm 99.9% sure that was a Monty thing.
I think, you know what? Now that you say it, I think you're right.
Yeah, it was a Monty thing. So Jay, Jason, Dave, Child McGillicuddy, all coming to you. Is CM Child McGillicuddy? Is he just visiting? He's permanent? No, I don't mean like the station. I mean the show. He's with us permanently? No, he's not.
I think there's, Jay Mars never takes time off, right? When Jay gets some time off, I think.
Wait, so is he literally a hire so that Jay can take time off?
I don't know.
He's Jay's understudy, like in a play. He's Jay's backup. Well, that's good. It's always good to see young people break in. It's always good. It is the next generation, if you will, the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is.
The bullpen?
It's the bullpen. We're getting the bullpen to learn. So Nate will be in next week. So we're going to have multiple people who know how to do this show.
Which is, yes, true or false. Weirdly enough, I mean, we're all,
silly and stupid
except Jason, but this is the most difficult show I would imagine to board up of our day parts.
No, this is the easiest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nick and Rami's harder?
Yeah.
Why? No, and I'm only asking because we have all these elements and stuff.
Because they don't run their own audio the way we do.
Oh,
and they run a lot of audio.
You run it for why don't they run their own audio? Too good to run their own audio.
And the reason why we're getting the bullpen ready is because you went to management and complained that you didn't like when Christopher Lawn fills in the morning.
That's true. Hey, you know what? New mic covers and not Christopher Lawn in the mornings anymore. That is fantastic. No offense, Chris. All offense, Chris. Actually,
remember the day 2 months ago, maybe when it was after we were both here, and Jay's always here,
always,
and we both had that weird.
Yeah,
Jay's not here.
Right.
Jay's not here.
Jay is not here.
What do we do? And it was
You were saying like you could go in the other room and try to piece it together.
On. Yeah.
You just turn the mics on and go to commercial break.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only guy in this building I've never touched the boards.
Then they'll never ask you.
No idea. I couldn't.
Don't show competence in something you don't want to do.
I'm the guy that you ask me to do the dishes and I drop all the glassware. Mm-hmm. But truly, honestly, I'm sure it's easier than I think, but I see when somebody's running a board and all the stuff they're doing. I don't know what. Yeah. I know how to hit that green button. I can do that.
You don't hit the green button anymore.
What do you do?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So anyways, welcome aboard. Guy who said that the Cleveland Browns is the best Hard Knocks ever. I don't know if I'm gonna get over that.
Yeah.
He's active in the pre-show meetings. Usually guys come in, they're like quiet.
Yeah.
They listen. They won't want. This guy's just like talking about a bullpen. He comes in like a bull, just horns and everything, just all over the place. I actually like it. He's young and hungry, and we appreciate that, especially guys like me who are old and unmotivated, like Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just had to segue there. Tiger Woods flew to Delaware.
End of story.
That's the whole
Full
story.
stop.
He flew to Delaware.
Good for him. He enjoyed it. He had peanuts on the plane.
You know what?
Pretzels.
Do you think he went Southwest?
Yeah, middle seat.
Yeah, middle seat. Tiger Woods went to Delaware because that is the site of this weekend's next round of the FedEx Cup. The FedEx Cup. And they had a players-only meeting amongst those there. Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, the who's who for the most part of the PGA Tour, what's left of it. The meeting lasted over 3.5 hours. And the info gathered will be presented to Commissioner Jay Monahan and other tour administrators. Boy, would I love to know what that what did the golfers come up with?
Right. Yeah, because let's talk about what are they trying. I mean, Tiger was very adamant when he spoke about this before, Tiger grew up in the PGA was everything.
Yes.
And for the time being, I think it still is, but they've got to be very aware of this other tour.
Yeah.
I know you brought down the hammer yesterday on ways that they could do this.
Yes.
I hope they suggested everything and anything. And maybe competition is good. Maybe, hey, eliminate the competition, make us stronger. What are their legitimate beefs? I mean, I think they need to look at that. And some of it from the PGA side, they'll go, oh, they're just money hungry. And they're like, maybe. But there have been some of the players that said, look, I like some of the benefits of this tour.
Yeah.
The 3 rounds instead of 4. Some of the travel and other, like, hey, we're getting everything on this tour. Well, listen to that too. Like, can the PGA accommodate on some of those realms besides just the obvious of some of the money that's being thrown out?
One of the most difficult things to do for rich people is give back money. But it's the old adage of 80% of something's better than 100% of nothing. And as the other problem is that their pie has not shrunk yet. The PGA Tour has suffered no real financial damages yet. They've lost players, but they still have their TV contracts. They still have their tournaments. They still. I don't imagine there's been a massive, if anything. I don't think there's been any sort of attendance fall off. So they haven't realized that. But the problem is that you have to see down the road, which is very difficult sometimes in a business. I would think you have to see down the road and say, well, how are we going to negotiate our next deal? And is some of this money where it really will start hitting them again? And we talked about this yesterday. I fully believe that the Live Golf Tour will get a TV deal in the summer. They're expected to. Fox Sports is the favorite for that. Now what happens? Well, now you're going after broadcasters. They already have David Faraday and a couple others, so they're going to be familiar voices. I've said it before. I would give whatever the largest contract I've given. So let's say it was Dustin Johnson at $200 million. I'm going back now and I'm strategizing for the Live Golf Tour instead of the PGA yesterday. I would offer whatever it takes to get Jim Nantz. I really would. Now, would I give him $1 billion? No. Would I give Jim Nantz $100 million? Probably. I probably would, because I would argue that Jim Nantz's presence on that tour helps sculpt the sound and the feel of the tour.
Yeah. And then I think to that, let's just go to Nantz's part in this. If I'm CBS, then I say goodbye.
Oh, he absolutely.
Because then he's also giving up the tournament.
That's right.
Football.
Sure.
That's a lot. Now, maybe he's done a lot of work over his life. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'll get all this money. I'll work less. I love golf. I don't know. I don't know what his true loves as far as broadcasting goes, from the college basketball scene to the NFL to golf.
I think Jim Nantz is so entrenched and loved by, and he loves the PGA Tour. I mean, he lives on Pebble Beach.
Right.
I have a hard time believing he'd do this, but here's the deal. He's 63. It's not old. It's not young. And you're right. He's been doing things forever. I mean, he started at CBS Sports in 1985.
That's amazing.
That is a long, long time. He's been there almost 40 years. So if I'm Greg Norman, I go to Jim and I say, listen, yeah, you're going to have to quit everything else. They're not going to let you do this stuff. Probably. So what do you make from everything? From working year round, all your endorsements, what do you make? Let's say Nancy says $30 million. Okay, I'm going to give you $120 million.
Hello, friends.
I'm going to give you $120 million. I'm going to give you a $50 million signing bonus right now, cash in your pocket. You can literally go and take your phone and take the picture of the check and deposit it in your account for $50 million. And then you're going to have another $50, $70 million over the next, 4 years. And guess what? you only have to work 3 days a week.
Right.
And you only have to work X tournaments a year, and you can spend the rest of your time with your family, with your friends, whatever. That's going to have to be a real difficult conversation for Jim Nance to have with himself.
Yeah.
My goodness, you're doing 20% of the work for 3 times the cash. And I think for the Live Golf Tour, it's worth it to them because you're building the broadcast now. Do away with this team crap. Go to have your tournaments. They got to be involved in the majors. That's the whole ball game right there. Nobody's going to care about this golf tournament if the golfers can't play in the Masters. You're going to have to figure that out. Again, that's where you go sit down with the powers that be at Augusta who aren't historically that moral. I think that's a good way of putting it. And ask them, what's it going to take? How much money do you need? What kind of this? And then once all that happens is where the PGA Tour really gets screwed. It's a slow death because now Rolex says, you know what, I'm gonna.
That tour is more enticing.
We're not leaving you, but our $20 million a year goes to 10. AT&T, IBM, all these blue chippers now. So it's an incredibly, it's not a fun story. I think it's an incredibly, like Chris is on the YouTube chat bitching because it's golf, and I get that. But for those with an IQ, and we know Chris does not have one necessarily, it's not just about golf, it's about the business of the whole thing. And I think that's where it really gets fascinating. 3 questions, 3 answers. We've got 3 for madness next.
You want more Kings coverage? Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
I like the Monk deal a lot. The Kevin Herter one, you got control of a guy who, around the league, people still think he's a pretty good player.
Impressions, let's start with the Kings' top pick, Keegan Murray. What do you think of him? And you obviously knew him well at Iowa.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I called efficient and versatile. He's going to make shots. He's an elite jump shooter.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content. SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at American Energy, and now's the time to replace your system, and you can get $2,500 off on a new HVAC home system installation, 0% financing, and payment plan options available. There's no reason to keep putting off making your home a place of comfort for you and your family. Offer expires 8/31. Don't wait. Call today, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990, or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com, your second opinion partner.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to hire a professional voice actor and pay him absurd amounts of money to say,
I like this product.
Not sure why that was better. I mean, I'm a professional too, but we didn't pay him to say the business part, so back to me. Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. Sorry, I know hearing me say it was a bit of a letdown. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Question 1.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes. Another team not interested in Jimmy Garoppolo.
What?
Which team is it? Well, y'all stay tuned. And we got quarterback battles around the NFL. Plus, Aaron Rodgers not happy with.
Is it the new Sacramento MILF team?
Could be. Probably not. Aaron Rodgers is mad at the Utes. The Utes on his team, not from Utah. I'm talking about the youngsters. We've got audio on that as well. In the meantime, Jay Mars, who has delegated almost all of his duties, he steps up to the mic.
He's ready to go.
By the way, how many more days is he here?
Today's his last day. He'll be back in a couple weeks, though.
Next time he comes back, if he's truly bullpenning for you, we should have him.
I got to give him mandatory 15s.
But shouldn't we have him doing 3 for at some point?
Give him mandatory 15s.
Mandatory 15 breaks?
Yeah.
Well, then just have him give him another segment.
No.
Okay. 3 for Madness. Question 1.
Better feeling, buzzer beater or walk-off homer?
You mean for the player or the fan?
You know what? For the player. Screw the fans.
I think a walk-off. Here's why. Because you hit a buzzer beater and you're mobbed and it's like a team thing. I think with a walk-off, you have about 30 to 60 seconds, depending on who you are, or an hour and a half if you're Reese Hoskins, to trot around the bases and the adulation pours down, and then you get the mob at home plate. So it's almost like if you hit a buzzer beater in basketball and you got to do a lap around the court by yourself and then jump into the crowd of your team.
I think that should be the new buzzer beater. Lap around the court.
I think that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. But instead, it's just a mob. You get lap and mob. I'm going to go with home run.
I am too. I think they're both awesome, obviously. I think hitting a baseball is way more difficult, and you likely hit it off a closer, right? And yeah, sure, it could be a wall scraper, but sometimes you're connecting.
Sure.
Whereas the NBA, I mean, it could be a most difficult shot. You could throw one up that 12 bounces in, still goes in. If I hit a walk-off, though, like in the playoffs, I think the best celebration would be to take, it's at home.
Yeah.
Maybe you won the series, the World Series, or that series to advance. I'm taking every base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running to first.
And you're grabbing
that.
Yeah.
I mean, the anticipation, second, third, and just bring them all.
Legal?
Your boots.
Well, I would be illegal.
Well, it's
the game's
done.
over.
Game's over.
I just got to touch home plate to make it legal.
Taking them all. And then do you have a room at home where you have all these bases like signed with the date on it and all of your walk-off bases you have? You can't take home plate, though.
I was say 4 a.m. Jason's out there digging up home plate.
Yeah, why not?
If it won the World Series.
For example, Brandon Crawford probably has one.
Swing, and he hits a high drive to center field. Going way back there. Still going back. Thomas at the wall. He leaps. Adios! Pelota!
Great call, John Miller.
Yes.
So, yeah, Brandon Crawford, 3 bases at his house. 3 for madness. Question 2.
Question 2.
Prediction time. That means get your predictions ready.
Prediction time.
In 2025, will there still be LIV versus PGA?
I don't think so.
It's wrapped up by then?
I think so. I think that's 3 years from now.
Who buys who out?
The fans.
I'm not spending any money for that.
I think there's going to be some sort of a detente, if you will.
I won't.
And I don't know who wins. I know it won't be the LIV tour because
then you do know who wins.
Yeah, it's the PGA will end up. Now they're not going to come out unscathed. They're not going to come out.
So they'll be wounded.
But yes,
and the LIV will have blood on their hands.
I do think if they follow can we get other guy on the mic? I do think that if they follow my strategy from yesterday, yes, I do. I do think they can crush. But again, they got to make it political.
Yeah, but you're already worried about them following your strategy. I don't know if the PGA will. Well,
they won't.
Maybe Tiger and crew figured out a formula.
When Tiger Woods is a human starting gun when it comes to anything golf related, he will set the pace and set the tone. And by the way, also, none of these guys are really dumb. You're talking a lot of Stanford and a lot of Ivy League in here. It'll be very interesting. So
if they said that you could play in all these tournaments like the majors going forward, got in the FedEx Cup, got golf rankings, and they paid you like that, and then they revisited Tiger and upped that money they were paying him, and he left.
I just don't think I just don't know that he does.
Yeah,
I think there's just too much out there for him where he'd break even at best, and why would he want to destroy his reputation with a lot of people?
He doesn't really need the money, does he?
No.
Oh,
but that's
all
just
relative.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he wants another yacht.
Yeah.
Question 3.
Question 3.
The movie Superbad was released on this day in 2007, making it 15 years old and making us all feel really old. And its comedy does hold up, according to one Jason Ross.
I think so.
What is your personal favorite comedy movie ever?
Superbad's really good.
If that's on, I still watch it.
Yeah, it holds up. Don't you think, Jay?
Yeah. What's the name of the guy that plays McLovin?
He has 3 names, doesn't he?
I don't think he has a name other than McLovin.
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's not.
Ian Baker Finch.
Davis Love the third. Oh, that's 4.
Harry Giles 3.
Well, I know that actor.
It's McLovin.
It's Christopher Mintz-Plasse. So his mom had to be on set because he was underage during the love scenes. That's a true fact.
The McLovin scenes?
Yeah, the McLovin
He's still underage.
No, isn't he like? Wait,
he's like 14 now?
Probably 30-ish.
Yeah, I think he just turned 40 like a couple years ago.
No, he's not 40.
The movie's 15 years old.
15 years, but in the movie, wasn't he 16? Oh, that's 30. Excuse me. He turned 30 a couple years ago. I apologize. Love the movie. Probably my favorite all-time rewatchable comedy is Airplane. That's just the foundation of everything. But my favorite
Airplane.
I'm saying the foundation from when I was a child. But what I believe personally is the funniest movie start to finish is Step Brothers. There's no movie out there I laugh at.
I love Step Brothers.
Wow, Jason, you didn't.
No, I'm
okay.
I had two others in mind, and as soon as you said Step Brothers,
There's just no.
Step Brothers is good front to back. Like there's
It's
no
so
slow part in that movie.
Not only is it good front to back, but there's almost a whole entire other movie in the outtakes on YouTube.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
They're so good. And that movie just kept raising the bar.
Mhm.
And then they got to the drum set. And I'm like, no, oh my God.
yeah.
I cry every time I watch that movie.
I said that is the hardest I've ever laughed in the theater at a movie. I just
You
got.
saw it in the theater?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, you didn't see it in the theater.
I didn't. I wish I had.
Yeah, I mean anything Will Ferrell at that time was putting out in the theaters, I was watching.
Oh, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my favorite probably rewatchable comedy, and it's not one of Will Ferrell's like super popular, but for me it hits is Semi Pro.
Oh, Semi-Pro's great.
love Semi Pro.
I've seen it once.
It's really good.
It's so good. I love Woody Harrelson.
You know what else is
Andre 3000.
I think is actually just a good movie that's really funny, clever all the way through was Hangover.
Hangover.
The original. The I feel like the sequels were awful.
You know what I say about those two, by the way?
Uh-huh.
Because the first one was so good, like if they came out in a different order, they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think the other two would be great. But to Jay's point, like, I don't know. The first one's just so good.
Yes.
So rewatchable,
Yes.
so clever, so funny. Lots of good lines.
I will say this. I've said this before. I think the most underrated Will Ferrell movie ever made is a little movie in 2006 called Stranger Than Fiction. It's got Emma Thompson in it, and he plays a book character that starts hearing things out loud. I really thought that was a clever movie, and it was really the first time I saw Will Ferrell, not as a serious actor, although it was a serious role, but he has wings a little bit.
Wedding Crashers, another very rewatchable Will Ferrell movie.
Happy Gilmore, not a Will Ferrell movie, but again, these movies.
Happy Gilmore's still good.
That was wonderful. MC, I'll give him credit here because he's right. Along with Airplane, probably Airplane. If I have a pyramid of comedy and the foundation is there, Airplane's on it, Naked Gun's on it. History of the World Part 1 is 100% on it. And then
Fletch is on there for me.
Oh, you're a
Fletch.
Fletch stan.
Yes.
You've always loved. I
Yes.
love me some Fletch.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, great guy.
Unfortunately, I don't think so.
We'll take a break.
Why?
I know. You're getting old. Golly. Another team is out on Jimmy Garoppolo. We got training camp battles and so much more. We'll hear Aaron Rodgers spank the youngsters on his team. Yeah, you'll see. We've got audio for you and more next.
You ask for more 49ers coverage, and Sactown Sports 1140 listen.
Let's go, Niner gang!
Get all the latest 49ers news and notes online at SactownSports.com. Plus, make sure to follow us on IG at Sactown1140 for Emil Fragoso's live postgame show following every game.
That is what we expect out of the Niner gang.
Niners win! Your home for the most 49ers coverage in Sacramento. Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento Weather is brought to you by the San Diego Tourism Authority.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Wednesday. We're out the door to a mild start to the day. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds into the afternoon, and temperatures hot, but not as hot as yesterday, looking at a high of 104. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When you're happy and you know it in San Diego, there's no limit to how you can show it. Endless sunshine, coastline, and outdoor adventures inspire waves of feel-good vibes. Plan your trip today at sandiego.com.
Sactown Sports 1140. Breaking news.
You know, Jason Ross is 50% of why I'm in this business. He and Steve Buzzard gave me my start. Oh, way back when I was Dave and Carmichael, calling in after Kings games. As a young lad, I've gotten to know Jason through the years. I've grown to love him and his family. He truly is one of my favorite people in the world. And not a bad bone in his body until now. Breaking news.
You threw a golf club during the break.
I threw a golf club. I gave you the double hand wave and
with a kick.
With a foot wave.
Man, I really got to you.
Jay, I'm going to need you on the mic for this. Although this could backfire because it's Jay Mars.
I think it's not going to.
I think it's not going to too. We were talking about favorite comedies as we were going to break. We continue that conversation after break. Jason Ross has never seen Tropic Thunder.
Really?
Yeah.
Not by choice.
Even I've seen Tropic Thunder.
He hasn't seen anything.
Have you seen Tropic Thunder? Oh, well,
he's a child. He's not allowed to see Tropic Thunder yet. Jason Ross has never seen Tropic Thunder.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I am too, honestly. I mean, I've seen just about every comedy.
Yeah.
This is a guy who literally
on
his way home on Fridays stops at movie theaters to get movie theater popcorn to enjoy with movies.
Right.
Fact.
He's seen them all in the theaters.
Yep. And this one I missed in theater. Obviously, there's choices afterwards, but it's not on, is it ever?
No. I mean, that is a point.
I know there was a scene that or two that was edgier at the time, but
you people.
What do you mean, you people? Jason doesn't understand that.
Wow.
Maybe Tom Cruise's best role.
I did hear the story about that, where he just basically he kind of created this character, wanted to be that character, and
he method acted that
kept
character
saying,
for
I
sure.
have to have fat hands.
He did
the whole thing, and what you just showed me was pretty funny.
Why am I not finding it? I've sent you before. What's your hey, seriously, what's your Venmo? Is it J? I don't want to say that on you. Oh, you probably don't say
Venmo. Yeah, go ahead and say it on the air. Say as much as you want.
Well, I don't know. Can people like reverse hack it? I don't know.
I don't know, but they could send money.
I'm gonna Venmo you $3.
No,
and I want because you can rent it. Like
then I'll rent it. I just haven't done it. I hadn't even thought about it. It was Kevin on our YouTube chat said, "How about Tropic Thunder?" I go, I've never seen Tropic Thunder.
I'm not even lying. Like, part of me wants to re-rack yesterday's show and just have KHTK movie time right now.
This movie of all the movies has got you that agitated.
I don't want to overhype it. Is Tropic Thunder the funniest movie of all time? No, it is not. Right. Is Tropic Thunder, I believe, must-see comedy for our generation? Yeah. Yes, I
don't know why that one missed. I just didn't.
You're talking about Tom Cruise,
right?
Matthew McConaughey, Robert Downey Jr., others that I'm not remember. Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Danny McBride, Bill Hader, Nick Nolte.
Oh, it had Nick Nolte?
Yes.
Yeah, never saw it. And actually, it did make it worse that Jay has seen it. Because Jay's seen like 4 movies.
Yeah, he's seen 4 movies, and that's one of them.
Yeah. My bad.
Listen. Can you come back from this? Of course. Can you come back from this? Of course you can. I just really, part of me wants to watch it with you because it would be so fun for me.
What if I didn't laugh? I know I will.
There's no way you will laugh within the first 5 minutes, like easily. They'll be setting up the story. You might actually laugh at the credits. I'll tell you who is not laughing was Aaron Rodgers, and he has seen Tropic Thunder. I can promise you that. But he's also seen a lot of bad drops from his young receivers, and he's not having it, says Aaron Rodgers.
The young guys, they got to, especially young receivers, we got to be way more consistent. A lot of drops, a lot of bad route decisions, run the wrong route. So we gotta get better in that area.
Love to play for him.
It's also possible that Aaron Rodgers just thought he saw bad routes and drops.
Yeah.
Maybe he imagined them.
Good point.
Yeah, we absolutely have no idea. With football season coming back, it's always a great time to bring back Bill Belichick press conferences. Here's Bill on joint practices.
All of it's organized so that we can both get the most out of it. Most of it is not pre-called, so we don't know who they're going to have on the field or what they're going to do and what formation they're going to be in. And they don't know the same from us or what defense we're going to be in.
Okay.
That's fun.
Dare I say that was
It's pretty peppy.
Bill Belichick?
Yeah. He had a Red Bull or something.
He says he gets more out of the practices than the games.
Well, in some respects, you get a lot more out of them. We can set up a lot more situations that'll come up that aren't going to come up in preseason games with the players who are most likely going to be playing them. And that would be a good place to start. Certainly in a preseason game, you don't get individual one-on-ones or two-on-twos or those kind of individual matchups that show up in a practice session. So there's a lot of differences between practicing games. I mean, we could be here all day talking about that.
Wow.
I mean, that's really honestly about it. He was in a great mood.
Yes.
Apparently. What a
That was the day to ask him a non-football question, see if you get an answer.
Why am I blanking? Bengals rookie receiver last year.
Jamar Chase.
Thank you. Jamar Chase took the NFL by storm, and you want to be careful about setting up pressure for people, especially, Jamar Chase had his old LSU quarterback throwing to him. That's a lot different than having Mitchell Trubisky throwing to you, but George Pickens of the Steelers has been making waves in training camp. People are just saying he has otherworldly ability, that this is the next superstar, one of the next superstars in the NFL. And one of his fellow receivers, Deontay Johnson, is absolutely in Pickens' corner.
He's a freak. That's what he is. He's a freak. That's a special talent, You can't teach some of the things he do. I'll just be watching him like, man, I'd be amazed how he catches the ball sometimes. He's getting better on the daily. I'm teaching him certain stuff, and if he asks questions, I'm always there for him. Like I say, he's a freak nature.
Just got to have a quarterback to throw him the ball.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that it's tough when you don't. The Jets not intent on trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. After Zach Wilson injured his knee, this had come up because he injured it in week 1 against the Eagles, week 1 of the preseason. And they made, the thought was maybe they're without him for an extended period of time, but now it sounds like 2 to 4 weeks. So reports there, Ian Rappaport says, with Jimmy Garoppolo available from the Niners, the Jets don't appear intent on making a move. They have confidence in Joe Flacco in the likely scenario where he starts until Zach Wilson is 100% ready. I would ask this too. If Jimmy Garoppolo is going to go to a team, doesn't it make sense that he's going to go to a team that has playoff aspirations? What is the virtue of giving up value for Jimmy Garoppolo when you're going to move from 2 to 6 wins at best?
Right.
Jimmy Garoppolo at best makes a 4-win difference.
Yeah.
So now what did you get out of that? You know what you got? You got about 8 less draft spots.
Right. And I think, like a team that's been talked about before is Seattle because the quarterback questions there. One, it's in Division 2. You have to trade something in return.
Yes.
And 3, I think Seattle is comfortable with what they have now, knowing that they're going to draft a QB next year.
That's the thing.
What's the point? Unless he gets waived. That's completely different. If the Niners cut him loose,
sure,
then you're signing him without giving up anything. And that's still the scenario I think that's going to happen.
Well, I think that's the deep, dirty secret these teams don't want to talk about, and I don't blame them. Pete Carroll doesn't want to go in front of the mics and say, listen, this is a rebuilding year. We don't have a good team.
Right.
So why are we going to want to give up something of value, draft pick, this, that? Oh, yeah, and by the way, spend $20-something million. Why do we want to do that? So at best, Jimmy Garoppolo can come in and lift us from a 4-win team to an 8-win team. We have no shot at the Super Bowl. We have no legitimate shot at the playoffs. So we just basically gave up value in exchange for picking lower in a rebuilding era. That makes no sense. Oh, by the way, hey, fans, get season tickets. Seahawks are back. Yeah, it's not going to work, which is why when I'm looking for places for Jimmy to go, it's a place like Cleveland really stands out. Like, okay, do they really want to go with Jacoby Brissett, I think?
Cleveland, yeah.
That's a team that's right on. It's the teams that are either smack dab in the playoff hunt, and I don't think that's Cleveland, or very easily could be, and they're right on the bubble. It does make sense for them to give up a little bit of value for a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo if they believe that he's enough of a difference maker to help get them in the playoffs. I don't think they want to, no pun intended, punt on the season like a Jets or a Seahawks, if I'm sure already understood internally that they're going to do that.
Yeah, and I understand why the Niners are doing their part. They want to get something in return for him, but I think ultimately that's not going to happen.
I love that our new guy and Jay are having a completely separate conversation in the control room, which is always reinforces we're doing good work on the air. When the guys that work on the show are not only having a separate sports topic, but they're sharing that sports topic in the YouTube chat. So let's run with that. Their topic, which is obviously more entertaining than Jimmy Garoppolo, Who's the most uninspiring athlete you've ever seen? I actually do like this topic. And some of their nominees, Heath Bell and Jay Cutler.
I also threw out Mike McCarthy in the coach game.
Nobody asked you. So Mike McCarthy in the coach game is actually, he's just kind of a log, isn't he, with a headset?
Yeah.
He's a log with a headset. Josh Rosen didn't really do much for me. I know, and I'm not doing that for that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Josh just
he's failed. Multiple teams, multiple spots, just has never landed.
Josh Rosen was the Delaware of NFL quarterbacks.
I don't know what that means.
Hi, I'm in Delaware. Hi, I'm Josh Rosen. I'll be your quarterback today.
Speaking of Delaware quarterbacks, Joe Flacco.
Well, Joe Flacco, didn't Joe won a Super Bowl though, right?
Last 7 years.
Uninspiring athletes. I'm trying to think of a basketball
one. Well, I mean, then it just goes down to are we talking bus or just uninspiring?
Well, you just kind of like, you have to be an athlete to be a basketball player.
Right. Derek Williams.
That's the thing. Derek Williams was an amazing athlete, but certainly didn't hold. Yeah.
I mean, it's a number 2 pick. There was no drive or fire from the guy.
I know this. I know I watched Nikola Jokic, who's the best player in the game, arguably. And I'm not inspired by, I know he's a tremendous athlete.
Yeah.
But he just kind of looks like the guy at the YMCA with the red face that's having trouble getting up and down the court, even though, and then he puts up, 29, 15, and 8.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to clear this with the guys in the other room, make sure this is a good topic. The NFL's top 100 coming out. How many Niners will be on that top 100? We'll get there next.
The start of the NFL season is upon us, and Sactown Sports 1140 has all your coverage. Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and of course, all the NFL action every Sunday. Your home for the NFL all season long. Sactown Sports 1140.
really crazy interesting.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
One of the nicest guys in the entire town, whose family is a foundational family in Sacramento. Phil Oates turns 81 today. If you see Phil or are around him, tell him happy 81st birthday.
Is that what you're going to tell him?
Just text him. Okay. Happy 81st, buddy. Appreciate you. You're a good guy. Diehard Kings fan. 81. It's a ripe 81 with many, many to come.
Yes.
Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, others in the control room. Welcome back. 1-800-920-1140 just for funsies. 916-339-1140. The top 100 at NFL.com. These are always fun because they're the ultimate. You know, we have a wonderful digital team, and it's growing and growing. And if you haven't been to the Sactown Sports 1140 website lately, you really should, because the Niner coverage, the soon-to-come Kings coverage, and everything else, just full-time folks that are very talented. Emil we had on last week, Frankie, Charles. They're all just wonderful, wonderful folks who are very, very talented, doing great work out there each and every day. They ought to do a top 100 because people just click and argue about these.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Think about this is a perfect exercise in lists in the sense that, there'll be debates all over the place on this for the top 100. They've revealed the 100 through 51. But honestly, Dave, how would you do this? How would you compare Trent Williams? Fantastic. Maybe the best lineman. Okay. The best lineman. Let's give him that.
Sure.
Versus, I don't know, Justin Tucker, best kicker. Versus the best corner, the best running back. The three best quarterback. Like, we all lean, I know I do, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, the stats. I can tell you, well, he ran for 1,500 yards. He threw for 5,000 yards. He caught 18 touchdown passes. Well, Trent Williams didn't allow a sack.
Right.
Or the DN that got 11 sacks and triple T. Aaron Donald is considered one of the best, if not, he's usually number 1, 2, or 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really tough, when you're talking about different positions.
Yeah.
That play the same sport. Obviously, offensive line is different than a safety. It's just that it's a really difficult exercise.
Well, the way I would do it would be the only way I can ever do things like this is take out contract, take out age. I own an NFL team, and you're calling me and you're offering me Trent Williams for Justin Tucker. Do I do the deal? And if I do the deal, then Trent Williams goes above. That's the only
fair.
It's the only thought process I can use, because you're 100% right. A guy can be I'm definitely taking the 6th best quarterback in the league over the best fullback.
Right.
I'm definitely taking the top offensive lineman in the league, or the 5th best offensive lineman in the league over the 3rd best safety.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But like Tucker's an interesting one because he is considered the best kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Likely will lead the Ravens in points again.
Yes.
But it's still a kicker. Like the thought process behind it, well, he's a kicker. What does that mean?
Well, I can tell you NFL.com has him at number 94.
Okay.
94. He is ahead of CeeDee Lamb, and he is behind Von Miller.
Okay.
So he is in a Lamb-Miller sandwich. As far as Niners on this list,
so far,
number 100.
Yes.
Kyle Juszczyk,
who most say is the best fullback in the league. And fullback, how many people even utilize one?
Absolutely.
Right.
A guy that
but he's great.
When he's healthy, he's great. And he unfortunately, once again, is not healthy. He's fighting a hamstring issue, but 96 is Jimmy Ward.
Okay.
Which, again, that's good for them. Kyle Pitts coming in at 91. There's a lot of fantasy buzz about Kyle Pitts of the Falcons. He's not a Niner, of course, but a lot of buzz about where you draft this guy. Odell Beckham up to 90. He enjoyed a little bit of a resurgence.
Yeah. But at the time, he would have been way higher than that.
Yeah, way, way, way higher than that. Mac Jones, I'm just giving you notables at 85. So far, we have 2 Niners. Justin Simmons at 81. No relation, to my knowledge, to Ben, by the way, or Richard.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'm just scrolling through. James Conner still on the low. Wow, that's really high for James Conner. I'm still looking also for do I not see a Raider?
No, I think they're in there's like 3 in the 60s.
It was obviously Derek Carr.
I think Waller's in there,
Devontae
Carr.
Adams.
I think Adams hasn't been released yet, so I think he's going to be in the top 50.
Okay. We already have 2 Niners in the top 100. There's Buda Baker at 67. I was wondering. Well, there you go. Derek Carr, number 65, just ahead of DeForest Buckner, the ex-49er, just behind Devin White, the linebacker for the Buccaneers. Another Raider, a brand new one. Chandler Jones, number 62. This is surprising.
I know who you're going to say at 61.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
What?
61st best player in the NFL.
I don't know.
But again, now we go to the infatuation with quarterbacks.
Sure.
Man, there's 60 players better than him.
There are not, again, if you're using my rule, which apparently they're not, there are not 60 players in the NFL you would not trade for Russell Wilson. There just aren't. Flat out. Russell Wilson, is he the top quarterback in the league? No. Is he top 5? No. Is he
pretty close? He can be. He's played
right
like
there.
that before.
He's right there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Max Crosby and Darren Waller come in at 59 and 58, respectively. Kyler Murray at 57. That's another one. They're really not weighting quarterbacks as much as you would possibly think. And then the last one to come out, number 51, Alvin Kamara. Kamara is going to be interesting, too, because he's got, with the Deshaun Watson thing, that's dominating.
Yeah.
But Alvin Kamara's got legal issues, too, for that
Yes.
fight in the club that was on video. We don't know when that's going to come down, but I want to tell you that Dave Richard, we're finishing up our negotiations with him right now, and I want to say for like the 10th consecutive year, CBS Sports Dave Richard, we fully expect, because they're always very amicable negotiations. He will be joining us every Friday in the upcoming season. And we talked to Jay Mars yesterday. He's putting all this together. We're getting fairly close to announcing our fall lineup, and we're excited to bring that to you.
How many fantasy leagues? I forget that I know you at least have one.
I'm in 2 main ones, but then this year, speaking of Phil Oates, he wants to be in one with my son. So we're going to do like a little family league, because my son won my wife's work league last year for basketball.
Nice.
But he's never done fantasy football before, and he's a little worried. And the original idea was we would share a team, but I had to nix that because, number one, I don't like sharing teams. I don't want to commiserate. It always ends up that one guy makes all the decisions, and then there's pressure because, Jason, if you and I are sharing a team and you say, hey, we should pick up guy, and I say, no, we should pick up other guy, and then we decide on a guy. Well, whoever won, air quotes, now for the rest of the year, if your guy sucks and the other guy's doing well, now you feel like the other guy's sitting there going, idiot. I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want to do that. Plus, my son would never speak up. He'd just agree with everything we brought up. So we're going to have our own teams. That's 3. And I think 3, unlike the TV show, I think 3 is enough. I actually think 2 is enough.
2 is, because you have a second crack at it, right? And if you've been in 2 for a long time, then just stay in that same group. That's what's fun about it too, is if you've had the same group for years upon years.
What? How many are you in?
I'll definitely be in 2 for certain, and then sometimes it gets to as much as 4. It just depends.
Now, when you're drafting and you have multiple teams, do you find that you tend to draft a lot of the same players? Or do you try to spread it?
No, I don't try to purposely. I mean, obviously, I'm drafting people that I think are going to help that team, and if I like them, then I probably will try to get them again. But I'll find that it'll be interesting. Wow, I got that guy in that other league in the 7th round. He just went in the 4th. Well, I feel better in the other draft than I did in this one, or something like that.
Right. Yeah. What was the other thing I want to say about fantasy football? I was going to say 2 things. One, fantasy football just makes football more fun.
Yes.
It makes it more enjoyable. And for me, my sports nirvana outside of Kings stuff, but really where I'm probably the most stimulated as a sports fan, is 10 a.m. to about 4 p.m. on Sundays when Red Zone's on.
Yep.
And I got my fantasy. I got my 2 screens out with my fantasy scores. And and my wife knows, and God bless her for it. She's always been good about this. Football season starts. She knows she's losing me on Sundays. Like, I'm
Doesn't she play too, or no?
She does.
Yeah.
She does. She finally is like, you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah.
So we're in one league. One of my leagues we're in together. it's nirvana. It's so great. Everything's happening all the time at once.
Yeah.
And you're either really, really angry about it or, really happy about it.
Yeah. Well, I know just to tie it in, I know later we're going to get into the Kings schedules released today. They did this about 5 or 6 years ago where they're putting some of those Sunday home games at 3. And I've never understood that. Like Sunday at 6 works. I know there's the Sunday night game, but 3:00, just a weird time to play Sunday during the NFL season. Like after the season's fine.
Sure.
But they've done that. I'm like, come on. Sunday, it's such a great day to just be locked into football all day.
I would say this. I also don't understand why we don't have a station fantasy or like literally a sports station.
Yeah, we've done that before.
I know, but what should we bring it back?
We can.
Let's talk about that during the break. In addition to that, we'll also talk about the full NBA schedule, which will come out today. We got a couple spoilers, minor spoilers for you for the Kings, as we're scraping the barrel here to find info. I know that Cattles and Rami will have the complete schedule for you this afternoon. We're going to do that next.
You ask for more 49ers coverage, and Sactown Sports 1140 listen.
Let's go, Niner gang!
Get all the latest 49ers news and notes online at SactownSports.com. Plus, make sure to follow us on IG at Sactown1140 for Emil Fergoso's live post-game show following every game.
That is what we expect out of the Niner gang. Niners win!
Your home for the most 49ers coverage in Sacramento. Sactown Sports 1140. Text or call the show at 916-339-1140. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, and friends.
Hello, friends.
All the way to 9 a.m.
We're going till 9 today?
We are.
Okay, we'll do it. Let's do it.
Hey, and by the way, we're all in studio. We're all doing a full. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We don't take that for granted. Durant James is rich.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a historic deal, $76.4 million with the Chargers. He is the highest paid safety ever. Average value of $19.13 million per year.
Good for him.
Florida State's Derwin James.
Yeah.
Whom I wanted.
Are you ready for Duquesne in your opener?
Oh, I am just home opener, Duquesne.
You still haven't been there for a game, correct?
I've never been there for a game. I've been on the field. I've been on the 50-yard line. I've kissed the grass. I actually have a Ziploc bag at home with grass from Doak Campbell Stadium. I have never been to a game, which also obviously means I've never been to a game with my dad. And that's ridiculous. Yeah. The problem is it is not easy to get to Tallahassee.
Well, I know, but we're making this happen.
Yeah, we this is your bit.
This
every
is my
year.
quest. I'm finding the game that you and your dad are going to. And your dad's listening right now, I'm sure.
Yes.
I mean, how and bring Mason.
Yeah, that's
3 generations.
Yeah, that's true. And then my uncle David, who I was named after, and his son David, who there's 3 Davids with the same exact name that would be together. They're right up there in somewhere in Georgia. I forget. Marietta, Georgia.
Okay.
I'm sure they would come down. My cousin, or my uncle David, though, is a Florida grad, and my cousin David's a Georgia grad. So bringing some enemies in, but as long as it wasn't Florida State, Florida, and I want to sit in the student section, and I want to paint my face.
Okay.
Wear all my FSU gear.
Okay, October 15th.
October 15th. Now, just in case you're joining us and don't remember, every year Jason picks the Florida State game that we're supposed to go see. Me and my dad.
Yeah. Clemson.
It's a good game, but here's the no.
Oh, you're afraid.
I don't want the only game I see to be a loss. And by the way, that's a coin flip for pretty much every game this year. But that's probably a loss.
Georgia Tech.
What date?
October 29th.
Here's why that would be interesting, because that's the day before my son's birthday. October 29th.
And when that Kings schedule comes out today, maybe the Kings are in Orlando.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Or somewhere out there. I'm gonna have one ready for you tomorrow. I'm gonna have the Carmichael Dave goes to Florida State trip.
Do you think that?
Because didn't I have a perfect one for you a couple years ago?
It was like 2 years ago. It was perfect.
This is it. It's all laying
Was it
out.
Notre Dame?
It was Notre Dame, but there was other. I was like going to get you to a Kings game. And
it was Notre Dame. It was Notre Dame. It was at Notre Dame, and then the Kings, I think, were either in Chicago or it was somewhere nearby. And then there was something. I think it was a whole weekend because you did that not that long ago.
I'm like, this is it. This is the setup.
Before we get to the schedule, just real quick, because I saw this last night. Shout out to Justin Verlander. I just want to have a quick Justin Verlander appreciation. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's 39 years old. He will be 40 in February. He's 15-3 with a 1.95 ERA and a 0.88 WHIP. Now, this isn't just something with him. Last year he was hurt, so he appeared in just one game.
Right, I think.
Yeah. Year before, 21-6 with a 2.58. Year before, 16-9. Year before that, he was injured. Year before that, injured. Year before that, 16-9, 15-12, 13-12. Now we're with the Tigers, 17-8, 24-5, 18-9, 19-9, 18-6, 17-9.
How many wins
total for Justin Verlander? 241.
Man, those 2 to 3 injury years. Even if he had 10 or so in there, that'd be 30 more.
If he
could get to 300. But,
I don't see that's going to be tough. But then again, not showing signs of slowing down.
Yeah, and a new arm basically after Tommy John, they say.
241, which would be 3 years.
He's not going to win 20 a year.
No, but it would be 3. I'm saying if he won 20 a year, it would be
Then he'd
3
do it,
years,
yeah.
and he would do it at 43 years old. I gotta think he has to be, now that Sabathia retired. He's got to think the highest. He's got to be the highest active.
Yeah, and if he gets, it's one of those. If he gets close, does he hang on? Like, hey, I need 8 more wins. Can I pitch 1 more year? Type
Just
thing.
put him in every win situation
Right.
possible. Lifetime ERA of 3.27.
Nice.
The Kings schedule will get released today, along with the rest of the NBA. We already know
Finally.
they will open in October 19th, right?
Yes.
Against Portland. KHTK had that first. We know they have one nationally televised game, and that's at least.
Yeah.
That's a home game in January against the Rockets.
Which Houston, by the way, has 4.
Yes, they do.
They're not very good. Got some young pieces, but they're not very good.
They're not, but that's just, I think, what is that? Jabari Smith Jr. was the 3rd pick.
Yeah.
Thought to be the first pick
Right.
forever. So I don't even know what it is. Although I would say this, honestly, probably part of it is Houston remains massive in the Asian market. It's the leftovers from Yao Ming.
Sure.
You had a lot of people that became, Rocket fans for life because of Yao Ming. I got to think there's something there with that market. Now that China is again showing NBA games, and that was new last year after the kerfuffle with Daryl Morey and friends. So I got to think that's something there, but they're certainly not going to be, I would imagine they're not going to be better than the Kings this year, although they do have a lot of young talent. Listen, Houston, if they progress quicker than we think, and you're looking at Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Şengün, who showed a ton of potential. Josh Christopher is a solid player, and then they added Eric Gordon, who will give him vet minutes. If everything goes right for Houston, I'm not saying anything other than they could be a tougher out than people think.
Yeah, and the other part too that the league started doing 2 years ago that I want to see if they do again is kind of the schedule, like potting. Like if the Kings have to go to San Antonio twice, then maybe they'll play them in 3 days. So, instead of going there 2 different times, they might just go once and play. The Kings had that here. Who's here? Dallas was here.
Yeah.
Separated by, a day in between. So we'll see if that kind of is incorporated again, which I believe it will be.
We do have little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Do know that in January, there'll be 9 home games.
Mm-hmm.
February, just 3. And then March, 9 home games. And we talked about that earlier, the All-Star break, Disney on Ice rolls in here in February, stuff like that. Do you count it as a national game if it's not on TNT or ESPN?
What, NBA TV?
Yeah.
I don't
either.
Because it's the Kings broadcast.
Yeah.
Right? Or the other team's broadcast.
Doesn't it kind of have to be? There's no rule here, but in my mind, I think in yours too, it's got to be the new crew, the national crew.
The national crew that's in the arena.
And by the way, that would also count, obviously, if it was Mark Jones and Doris Burke.
Sure, because then he's national.
He's
right?
national, even though he's a Kings announcer as well.
Which that one is an ESPN game. I don't know how that'll be. It might be Mark Jones doing the game.
Right.
And if it's ESPN, if I'm not mistaken, ESPN is the one where you can also televise locally. TNT, I believe you cannot.
Yeah.
I think they have exclusivity. If I have that, it's been a while for the Kings.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when they were on national TV a lot?
Is that a big deal to you? I know it has been to a lot of people.
I'm really split on it here. There's 2 days here because on one hand, when it comes out and we've only got, there's 3 days. Because when it comes out and we have like the 2 NBA TV games, I'm like, come on, man.
Okay.
This team has 12 and come on. Everyone hates Sacramento. It's garbage. Then the second Dave goes, yeah, you guys suck. You're a small market and your team sucks. You have nothing going for you. Why would anyone want to put you on national TV? You're one of the lowest draws on the road in the entire NBA. You're second to last, but really last in the NBA because of COVID in Toronto. You're last in attendance at home. You're a terrible franchise. Why would they put you? Stop wearing purple glasses. And then the third day is like, I don't care about national TV as long as I get to see. What do I care if Fred in Connecticut's watching the Kings?
Right. To me, and I don't know how you interpret it. I always took it as, let's take TNT, for example. what are Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq saying about the Kings? That's as opposed to the game is going to be the game.
Sure.
Kevin Harlan, Mark Jones,
Right.
whoever's doing the game on ESPN, TNT. Sure, but like kind of the studio or what's the overall tone of the broadcast that the Kings are involved is interesting because, you know, the other 80, 81 or 75 games or whatever the TV schedule ends up being, you're watching locally or listening locally.
Yes.
So it's sometimes nice to hear another perspective, but the Kings haven't had that much.
I think in reality, I do care. I do care because I do want the other perspective. I do want to hear what Charles and Kenny and Shaq have to say, and Ernie. And I do want other people in the country to be able. Listen, the Kings are one of the biggest ambassadors for the city of Sacramento that there is. There's not a lot you hear about Sacramento and other states outside of where the capital of California and this government thing happened. You know, nobody in Tennessee is like, oh, the city of trees,
right?
Farm to fork, like Darryl Steinberg. Nobody's having that conversation. But when the Kings were kingsing in the early 2000s, they were everywhere internationally.
Yes.
And as a Sacramentan, whether you're native or not, but as a Sacramentan, I have a lot of pride in that. You know, it is truly the name on the front for me, and I think for a lot of us. So when you know that it's like when the Kings get on SportsCenter, it's the same conversation. ESPN never has anything nice to say about us, or these writers for the national, they never say. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes they go with the low-hanging fruit and the easy narrative, but a lot of the times it's because we stink.
Right. It's been justified.
So here's the bottom line: the more national games we have, the less we stink.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. I have one more note on the schedule when we get back. It's an idea I'd like to see. I'm curious if all of you would agree with me that it would be entertaining, because this also might be incredibly boring to some. I need to see if this is a quirk with me. And we've also got walking offs happening with the San Francisco Giants and more. We'll do all that next.
You want more Kings coverage? Sactown Sports 1140's giving it to you.
You know, you'll be watching and thinking, man, like, I guess Keegan, he's maybe not as good today. And then you look up and he's got, 12 and 8, and it's, the second quarter, and he is just so calm, so efficient.
I think it's absolutely what Sacramento needs. I think there's this sense that something special is starting to fall into place.
Log on to SactownSports.com for exclusive content. SactownSports.com.
Hey, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at ACR Solar. ACRSolar.com is the website. You can call them at 916-481-7200. Now, here's what happened with us. We have an older home. We're in that spot where we're not 100% certain we're going to make it through another winter with our roof. We've had the roof for a long, long time. It was there before we even owned it. And it's time. It's served its purpose. It's done well for us, but it's done. And so we need a new roof. So we met with multiple roofing companies. And when we met with ACR Solar, it was just the right fit. We talked to Joe, the roofing expert. He was phenomenal and just felt right about the connection. Certainly the bid they put on, the price was right for us there. And just their expertise, the quality of work, the craftsmanship, and everything that they've shown us that they're now going to do on our house. We said, yes, ACR Solar is the place for us. Now, again, a new roof can help lower energy bills. There's lots of benefits, certainly curb appeal and all that. For us, it was a necessity. For those of you that get to that spot where you need that new roof, I suggest you contact the people at ACR Solar. Of course, they do solar and many other things as well. Go to acrsolar.com or call them at 916-481-7200.
The 94th most popular celebrity from Carmichael
How popular do you want to be?
meets a Celtics broadcasting legend.
Celtics are going to go for the win. Everybody here at Golden One Center on their feet.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports 1140.
All right. Well, good timing. In my hot little hand, Jason Ross.
I'm not in your hot little hand.
No, you're not. But the Sacramento Kings schedule.
Hey, it's not released yet.
Subject to change. But let me give you the highlights here. As you will, I
want all 82.
You want all 82?
Yeah, I'm writing this down.
That'll be the rest of the show. Obviously, opening against Portland. It's a 2-game homestand as they open against Portland on the 19th. The Clippers, that's a Wednesday. The Clippers will be the other home game on a Saturday. The first road game will come on the 23rd. That's at Warriors. That's at Golden State.
Wow.
Oh, there's the second And now, yeah, it's out because I just got my third copy sent to me. So there you go. Thank you to whoever sent this to me, and thank you to the other two that sent this as well. So at Golden State, that is the 23rd.
Bring on the champs.
4 out of their first 5 are at home. Memphis and Miami, they come home.
Yeah.
And let's look at road trips here. Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, Golden State. That's Halloween in Charlotte. Ooh. Orlando, Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, and then back. That's weird. At Orlando. Oof.
Wait, what's the date of the Orlando game?
Orlando is the November 5th. Okay. Oh, were you thinking Florida State?
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
What was the date on that?
It was near Halloween.
Whoa. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, it's near Halloween. Then
Georgia Tech was October 29th.
October 29th. We could stay and watch them at Charlotte.
There you go.
But they go in Orlando on the 5th and then at Golden State on the 7th.
Ugh. Golden State again?
Yeah, they play Golden State twice in the first under 3 weeks. Let's see. Of note, here's a 6-game road trip. That would be starting December 7th at Milwaukee, at Cleveland, at Knicks, at Philly, at Toronto, at Detroit. I think. Nope, that is not the longest road trip of the season. January 28th at Minnesota. January 30th at Minnesota.
There you go.
At San Antonio, at Indiana, at New Orleans, at Houston. So you have
twice they potted them there.
So it's interesting.
That's not that bad.
No,
I mean,
it's a 7-game road trip, but it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities.
Yeah, 4 of the games are against 2 teams.
Then they come home for a back-to-back with Dallas. Other notable back-to-backs, February 26th and 28th at Oklahoma City for both of those. And they finished the year. Man, come on. March 29th at Portland, March 31st at Portland, home San Antonio, at New Orleans, at Dallas, home Golden State, at Denver. Now, those 2 Portland games could be very, very big when it comes to playoffs or play-ins. San Antonio, again, not expected to be a great team, but then you finish at New Orleans, at Dallas, home Golden State, at Denver. Yeah, that smells like a 4-game losing streak to end the season. And I'm not just being negative, guy. I honestly, you got Minnesota at home and then 2 in Portland and then San Antonio. That might be a 4-game winning streak for all we know, depending on, Dame Lillard and this and that, whatever.
Who knows?
So there you go. And I am being told, let's see. Yeah, there's most of it. So there you go, Jason. It's 82 games. And 41 are at home and 41 are on the road. Ooh.
77 and 5.
77 and 5. The idea I was thinking about, there's another copy of this schedule. The schedule is definitely out. So if you miss some of that, I'm sure it's going to be all over Twitter in a second. I would like to see a documentary on the making of the NBA schedule. I think it would be fascinating. Imagine that you have 30 teams. You have 30 teams and you have 82 regular season games. Quick math. 30 times 82. That's 2,460 games. But here's the thing. You have travel, back-to-backs. You have to worry about, they're playing in Golden State. We can't put them the next day in Oklahoma City or New York. But you also have like the rodeo road trip in San Antonio, the Disney
arena availability.
Yes.
Hockey. You're competing. Some of these places have two
Absolutely.
teams.
So how many times are you a schedule making? You're like, okay, perfect. We're going to have Dallas finish out in Boston. And then, yes, they've got to play Brooklyn once. We'll have they can't play. Oh, man, the circus is in town. Yeah. Now we got to put them on a different, but Brooklyn's gone. I want to know. I'm sure computers are heavily involved.
Oh, yeah.
I got to think it's not 4 guys or gals that are looking at a color-coded stickers. Yeah, like when you're doing a fantasy draft. But there are some parameters I would think would be difficult for a computer to, you plug in what you plug in, but still, Now, if it's just as simple as a computer program and you hit enter and it spits it out, okay, great. But the other thing too is that here's another one. You have to factor in marquee matchups, national TV.
Right. You're handcrafting specific things.
Yes.
With the opener.
Yes.
With Christmas. Martin Luther King has been a big day for the league as well.
Yes.
He doesn't work there anymore. I used to have a buddy that worked at Staples, which was Staples Center, before crypto.
Yes.
Not for either of the teams, but for the arena.
Right.
And I said, "Oh, that's good." He goes, "Yeah, but their schedule. I want to say, and I'll have the number off, but it was over out of the 365 days in a year. I want to say the arena was being used. It was like 328 or something.
Right.
I mean, so that's concerts, that's hockey. That at the time was Sparks, Clippers, Lakers." Any show, award show, just it's always being used.
So the documentary would be like Jason Ross is the director of NBA scheduling, and you're in the car on your way to work, and it's July, August, I don't know. All right, day one, and then you set it up, and you have the meeting in the conference room, and here's how we're gonna and then I want to see it's probably a half hour tops. But I can't imagine there's trade secrets. Why would you not be able to give full access to something like that?
Yeah, I think the other thing I've heard, I don't know how much this is measured, but I think teams can give suggestions.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lay out all 82, but hey, we'd like to be home heavy at the end, home heavy at the beginning,
right.
Or hey, you know what? Can you give us a longer break around this time of year if possible? I think there's suggestions that are sent in, but think about that from 30 teams. All right, we're trying to hear this And then, basically what I've learned over the years, talking to basically every visiting broadcaster, everybody complains about the schedule.
Well, of course.
Because the Kings go, man, we've got 9 and 13 days and X amount of cities, and then someone else comes in. Yeah, but look what we have to do. And it's just different in different parts of the country because generally the West Coast teams, when they go east, they go for, like you said earlier, a 7-game road trip. Where Dallas will be in Sacramento, Golden State, go back home, play Detroit, go to Denver, go back home, go to Florida. I'm but they're more centralized. And
right.
those are easier trips than, the Kings going to New York, Brooklyn, so on and so forth, Toronto.
I think when Vancouver moved to Memphis, I think that probably angered NBA media more than any other move. And it wasn't because of the fans of Vancouver. Right. It's because you took Seattle and Vancouver out.
Right.
And those are two of the nicest cities. Road trips that there are. Well, that happened during the break, so we didn't get a chance to get to the Giants walk-off, so we're going to combine segments next. We'll get to that. We have audio there, and also Jerry Jones wants the Super Bowl. We have got that audio, and, well, Jerry, we have some ideas for you. We'll do it next.
Live and past broadcasts of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross and Cattles and Rami. Interviews, podcasts, and more. They all live on the Sactown Sports 1140 app. Download the app now in the App Store and Google Play.
Sacramento Weather is brought to you by the San Diego Tourism Authority.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Wednesday. We're out the door to a mild start to the day. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds into the afternoon, and temperatures hot, but not as hot as yesterday, looking at a high of 104. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When you're happy and you know it in San Diego, there's no limit to how you can show it. Endless sunshine, coastline, and outdoor adventures inspire waves of feel-good vibes. Plan your trip today at sandiego.org. That's sandiego.org.
We're talking to Chad. Robbie. We'll have fun with that this afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock. Speaking of fun, my goodness, did Brandon Crawford have fun? Welcome back, Brandon.
Swing, and he hits a high drive to center field. Going way back there. Still going back. Thomas at the wall. And he leaps. Adios! Pelota! This game is over. For the second time in 3 days, the Giants hit a 2-run homer in the last of the 9th inning. And they have won it again.
So, are you on board?
No.
Why?
No.
Why not?
Don't do this to me, Giants.
4.5 out.
Yes.
6 games left with the Padres.
Yeah.
It's doable.
I don't want to open my heart to these guys.
Okay.
Like the Giants have crushed my heart so many times. I mean, they've been fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm in. Until I'm not again.
Okay.
It's okay to yo-yo, I guess. There's nothing wrong with a yo-yo. Nothing wrong with good yo-yo. You own a yo-yo?
Do I own one?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't yo-yoed in years.
What
happened to the yo-yo? It used to be a big deal.
Yeah.
I just, they keep dragging me back. And now I'm watching. I'm in, baseball season started for me August 1st.
Okay.
Now I'm into it. Baseball season technically started for me with Will Clark's retirement ceremony, I think. And then now I'm in, and they're winning, and they're winning clutchily. I think, honestly, the thing I'm most excited about is Joey Bart is in fuego.
Finally, yeah, after he got sent down, then he's come back, and he's been doing great.
He is on fire, and that's very good news because that's that's a big part of the future, huge part of the future for the Giants. And Logan Webb is just so dang good.
Mm-hmm.
Rockland's Logan Webb.
Good point.
Is so dang good as well. Jerry Jones wants to win a Super Bowl. He needs to win a Super Bowl.
Well, I need to win it. I need to win it. But I'll be candid with you. There's degrees. I want to be fair to everybody concerned. We need to be in the playoffs. We need to be viable in the playoffs to be a successful season.
Okay.
Jerry Jones. Let me just get this out of the way. I don't care how you feel about Jerry Jones. I personally think he's a slime bag. I think he's an absolute slime bag. He's a very good businessman. He has taken that Cowboys franchise. What did he buy him for? $150 million or something stupid? Or maybe was that what Trump passed up on them for? He bought them cheaply compared to what they are now. But that didn't all just come from the NFL. Jerry Jones has managed to become arguably, and I think he is the most powerful owner in the NFL.
I think for the league, yeah, his voice carries a lot of weight.
He was instrumental by most accounts in the Raiders moving to Vegas and helping Mark Davis clear the way there. He's also expanded the brand. He built the super stadium. He built the training facility. I mean, they used to do their training camp in Oxnard. Mm-hmm. Now they're centered in Dallas. It's almost become a theme park. A Cowboys themed theme park out there. It's just gorgeous. And on top of that, Dallas has a pretty decent roster. They're not a bad team, especially as Jerry often does, and his son, who's the GM. They're very good at the skill positions.
Mm-hmm.
And Micah Parsons was a revelation last year on defense.
Fantastic.
One of the best rookies of the year we've had in a long, long, long time. But there's one thing in common with the Dallas Cowboys since they last won a Super Bowl, and that's Jerry Jones and fam that are making the basketball decisions.
Yeah.
What I say? Oh, that was.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
That was not Freudian. The idea that an owner, that somebody can come in and buy a team who has no professional experience whatsoever in that sport. Maybe they played, and I know Jerry did, and Jimmy at Arkansas. But the idea that they can come in and just, it's my team and I'm going to run it. And, I can think. Now, is Jerry Jones smarter about NFL roster decisions than he was when I'm sure. If
you think experience, sure, should help.
Absolutely. is there something to be said about having, as long as your kid is relatively smart and intelligent? I mean, you can go to college for all kinds of things, you know, medical, dental, doctor, whatever, lawyer. Why can't you, especially if you have a kid that's not worried about his job security? The GM, Stephen Jones, has been the GM for quite a long time, and also was a 4-year letterman for the Razorbacks as well. He was in the Orange Bowl. So I want to be careful here. It's not like the Jones family they literally have Division I football playing experience.
Right.
But the Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl since 1995.
That's incredible.
The Cowboys have not gone to a Super Bowl since 1995. And they had those 92, 93, 95 teams with the Niners wedged in there, 94. That's a long time.
Yeah, and they were regulars really since the Super Bowl started, you didn't go that many years without at least having the Cowboys represented or going very far.
No. As a matter of fact, their previous longest drought, I think, I'm not sure what year the Super Bowl started, but I know they were in it and they won it in 71. And they won, let's put it this way, their appearances in the Super Bowl, 70, 71, 75, 77, 78, and then you add a 14-year drought, and then 92, 93, 95. They haven't made it in almost 30 years.
Yeah.
They're approaching 30 years.
Wow. And it's been Jerry, and he's changed coaches, changed different things, he's changed quarterbacks. I mean, obviously, time goes by, but still, it's him.
You could argue, well, but hold on a sec. Jerry Jones was the owner when they won their last Super Bowls, but you're forgetting Jimmy Johnson was there too.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry, maybe, what are you going to do? You're going to fire your kid? No. Dallas Cowboy fans are stuck with Jerry Jones and they're stuck with Stephen Jones. Where are they going? The only way Jerry Jones is not the owner of the Cowboys, honestly, if you're a Cowboy fan, is if one of these scandals blows up on him, these alleged scandals blows up on him. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to get fined. I think he could even get suspended. I don't know what's going to come of that. But we're not in Donald Sterling territory, I don't think.
Right.
We're not. I don't even think we're in Dan Snyder or Sarver territory with Suns. So what I'm curious about, because I am not a Cowboy fan, and I try my best not to associate with Cowboy fans if I can help it. How do Cowboy fans feel about it? If you took a poll of Cowboy fans, I'm not entirely sure they'd want him gone. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, by and large, they are always relevant, right? They're talked about, America's team. There's something to that. And it feels like Jerry's always going to do enough to have them compete.
Right.
They're never a joke. They're never awful. Now, they don't get to the ultimate goal. They don't get there enough. Like last year, they hosted the 49ers in the playoffs. They were a good team. Niners beat them. They're done. They're out. And at some point, they need to have better success than that. But I don't ever feel like Cowboys are never the worst team in football.
No, they've had some years where they've struggled a little bit.
Right, but
you had the Tony Romo botched hold, and Tony Romo can't get us there. And then last year, honestly, they were very much favored to beat the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
That did not, I'm not going to say nobody saw that coming, but most people didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is fantastic. And then when you add in that defense, they got themselves a good coach. The Jason Garrett era was over. Was over. The sad part about it is I'm actually really high on the Cowboys this year.
Okay.
I do think they could win the Super Bowl. I truly do. I think when you add in that defense, you add if the Cowboys are going to have, if they don't have the best offense in the NFL, they're going to be in the neighborhood. And they had the best scoring offense in the NFL last year. When you add in Micah Parsons and you add in some of that defense, if they have anything close to a formidable defense, and I worry an eensy bit about their secondary, especially. I like Malik Hooker.
Yeah.
I like Trayvon Diggs.
How much do you worry about coach? Because I feel like that's where Jerry has missed the mark. Now, McCarthy's had a legacy in the NFL where he's had some success.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think that coaching is a big factor in a lot of this, and I think that's where the Cowboys' main missteps have been over the years.
I don't necessarily have an issue with Mike McCarthy, although again, here's the deal. Mike McCarthy is 143-92 lifetime as a head coach. He's won 61% of his games. However, all but 2 years were with Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre.
Right.
So you kind of, but he's universally, you don't hear many bad things about McCarthy as a coach from the players. He's generally respected. My worry is not necessarily about Mike McCarthy. My worry is how much autonomy does is Jerry Jones sitting in meetings? Is Jerry Jones making suggestions? And then you have lifers with the Cowboys saying, hey, Mike, that wasn't really a suggestion. Like, he wants to see more running in this next game. You got to run the ball more. And is Mike McCarthy part yes man? Now, if Bill Belichick moved to the Cowboys, well, Bill's not taking any crap from anyone. Robert Kraft, he can handle Jerry Jones. I have a lot more confidence. I just don't know how much Jerry Jones is interfering with that.
Yeah, and being that he's also, he's not just the owner. We label the owner part, but I mean, he is part of the decisions.
Yes.
The football operations.
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, his fingerprints are on the team.
Patrick Mahomes has a lot of money, but all of a sudden he's not the highest paid guy in the land, and you expect there'll be some sort of renegotiation at some point. But according to him, it's not all about that.
If you're ticked off making all the money that I'm making, you're probably a little bit messed up. If you watch some of the great quarterbacks, man, it's not always about getting the most money. It's about going out there and winning and having a legacy that you can kind of live with forever. Obviously, I want to make money and be able to buy everything I want and all that different type of stuff, but that's not the reason I started playing football. The reason I started playing football was to win Super Bowls, to enjoy these relationships that I'm building on this field with all my friends that are my teammates.
Okay.
So if I'm the GM, I'm just bringing that into it. Hey, you said it's about legacy, dude. You don't need more money, right? These are your words, Patrick. I have a feeling his agent didn't like that sound clip whatsoever. We'll take a break when we come back. We got a lot of news for you, news, celebrity birthdays, and so much more. We wrap up the program right after this.
Breaking news, the latest happenings with your favorite teams.
You ever wonder about what the heck all these kids are doing on computers all the time?
Stay up to date with all of it by following us on Instagram and Twitter.
Excuse me, gentlemen, a little update for you.
At Sactown 1140.
Rate and the purchase markets are doing this thing and that thing. Shelby, as I always say, you're the captain of the ship that gets everybody through those waters. What's going on over at United Wholesale Lending?
We are heavily focused on purchase business right now.
This is the time of year, I know. You would think more people go and see houses, but how is that working as opposed to rates scaring people? Are we still seeing that huge influx of people going out there?
Well, there's some more inventory that's coming onto the market, and the market is shifting from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Even with the interest rates going up, now the market is kind of softening up and making it easier for home buyers
worst by a team. That is putting them on
You
pace.
shouldn't have done it. That's just a sign. You should
To
not
be
have
the
done it.
worst by a team that had the best win percentage before the All-Star break. Jason Ross, your thoughts? Ooh.
Wow. No thoughts from Jason. You got the 2-hand, 2-foot, and something else wave.
Just staring.
Jason's not a.
He's just staring into the camera.
Also, I'm looking for 3 winners. Callers 1.
Well, we got 2 right here in the studio, pal.
Okay, well, you guys can't win this awesome prize.
Okay.
3 winners right now. 1, 2, 3. Callers 1, 2, and 3. Get a pair of tickets to check out Sail On at Hellwig Winery. That's going to be a great, great show, a great time. Again, you want to go check out Sail On at Hellwig Winery right now. We got a pair of tickets for the first 3 callers, 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140.
Love me some Sail On. Big Sail On guy. And you can go. We're not eligible.
You two are not eligible.
I'm not talking about Bono or Edge. I'm talking
I mean,
about
you
Tracy.
can go purchase tickets. Also, if you've never been to Hellwig Winery, one of my favorite wineries up in Amador.
Also named after Harry Potter's owl, as a matter of fact.
Not
No,
sure.
that's
on
Hedwig.
That. There you go.
Listen, let me tell you something about Hellwig. Let me tell you something in all seriousness about Amador County. I'm going to say something, and it's going to be controversial to a lot of people. It really is. And I'm not drinking McDrinkerton, but I'm dead serious about what I'm about to say. When it comes to bang for the buck, I'm talking quality, crowds, and quality of wine, along with price. Amador County, greater than sign, Napa. Yeah.
He said it.
Just angered Wine Nation.
You know what? Agreed.
Wow. I don't know if I'm happy or sad about that you and I are on the same page on something. It is. They're making insanely good wine in Amador County.
Yeah.
But it's not Napa.
No.
But that means you don't get the tourists as much. You don't get the crowds. You don't get the crazy prices. No offense to Napa. It's fine. It's neat. It's Dandy O.
If you're at Hellwig, go see my guy Lewis up there.
Lewis
will take care of you.
Love me some Lewis. Well, at Tropic Thunder, the DVD is in Jason's hands. Who is responsible for this?
Simone.
Of course she is. Of course she is. Simone is the duct tape that holds the world together. Right? That's a compliment. Right? Do you? Here's my question. Do you have the ability to play that at home? Do you have a DVD player?
Oh, this isn't a VHS? What does this thing do?
I honestly don't think I have a DVD player.
Yes, we do.
You do? Okay.
We won.
Wait, is the PlayStation still a DVD player or is it just Blu-rays?
PlayStation 2 is.
I have a PlayStation, no, but like a 4 or a 5. Can it play
Don't know.
DVDs?
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, we'll figure it out. News and notes now.
Stand by on this frequency. It's time for the news of the day.
Thank you for ruining the show and dropping a steamer on my journalistic integrity.
Today's important headlines, intelligent analysis, hard-hitting interviews. Yeah, this is none of those things. Here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Oh my God, I love those guys.
Righty. You know, we missed something yesterday. I wanted to bring it up. Yesterday was do some math, David, 33rd anniversary of the movie Uncle Buck being released.
R.I.P. John Candy.
Yeah, that's really why I wanted to bring it up. John Candy is like, he's almost a forgotten actor in the newer like they don't know.
He's been gone for 30 years almost.
I know.
Isn't that long?
It's insane. John Candy was so good in, I don't know, everything almost.
Rookie of the Year. Cool Runnings.
My favorite John.
Stripes.
Well, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah, Stripes.
Home Alone.
Great Outdoors.
Avatar. Just
Uncle Buck, though, is so good.
Platoon.
Terminator.
He was not Platoon, Jason Ross. He was great.
Remember when he said, "I'll be back"?
Why did the visual of John Candy is the Terminator 2?
16 Candles.
16 Candles, wonderful movie. My daughter asked to watch 16 Candles the other day.
You said no, didn't you?
I did. Maybe later, sweetheart. A couple of other things for you real quick. Oh, Jason, you and I were humming along to a Queen song earlier. Made me think of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
How could you not? Did you know Freddie Mercury had 10 pet cats While on the road, he would call his house, and he would have someone hold the phone to them so they could hear his voice. Freddie Mercury, Cat Guy. Today's national days. National Massachusetts Day. Have you been to Massachusetts?
I have.
I have not.
I have not either, and I'd like to go.
I want to go
Fenway
to
Park.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Fenway. I'd like to go to Boston. Boston's the one major city I've not gone to yet, and it's really the last on the list. And I have a feeling I'm really gonna. I hear it's a fine walking city.
It is a great walking city. I'd agree with that.
We want to take the kids before they go off into the wild blue. We want to do an East Coast. It's one of our little dream trips. We want to fly to DC and do all the DC stuff, and then drive up to Boston, and then go to Maine and have lobster or something, and then come back.
Okay.
You're not going to visit Delaware?
We're in Delaware. We might, if we pass through Delaware, we may just have to do that bit. Today's National Nonprofit.
You'd be the first person to think of that.
Probably. Throw Mama from the Train.
What?
Yeah. It's a movie.
Oh, I thought it was National Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh, sorry. I guess I should have. Yeah. It's National Nonprofit Day. Hey, shout out to all the nonprofits. The real nonprofits, not the nonprofits where the head of it's making 400 gur. Talking about the real nonprofits that do wonderful work. And,
like us.
Yes, like us. And finally, it's National Thrift Shop Day. Shouts to Macklemore. And
got $20 in my pocket.
Yeah.
Thrift shoppers are some of the more annoying human beings alive.
Who's calling in?
Hello?
Who is it?
Sorry, I know. Hey, hi, Mom. I'm doing the show. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I know you and Avery love going to thrift shops. Yeah. He didn't mean you guys. He meant other annoying people. No.
Hey, request for the eclair.
Oh, yeah. I know they
Easy on the mic there.
They want the eclair. Yeah. Oh, now you can still make
Jay said it.
Jay,
I didn't say it.
What does accessory even mean in this? What? I'll talk. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Look, all right.
I like when she checks in.
I like when my mom checks in. Yeah.
I know. She's always angry when she checks in.
Oh, shit, I know, right? Angry Barb. My daughter actually just had her first thrift shop experience a while back with my sister down in LA, and boy, is she addicted. And
your daughter, I feel like she's starting to lean hipster.
Yeah. Yes, she is, and I'm doing all I can.
Thrift shopping, huge hipster thing.
She is now starting a what time is it? 8:53. She's okay. Like composting and stuff.
Oh,
she's getting
man.
Yeah.
Now she's getting earthy.
We're just supposed to do that now.
I know. I'm not raising a hippie. I'm sorry. No offense to hippies, but it's not happening.
I mean, it's trending.
Well, you know what? I still control whether or not she goes to military school.
That's
celebrity birthdays.
Okay, let's do it. August 17th. Happy birthday today to Bobby D. Robert De Niro.
Ooh.
It's my birthday?
Robert De Niro is 79.
78.
Robert De Niro was 78 yesterday. He's 79
nice.
today. Happy birthday.
Loser.
Well done.
You talking to me?
Happy birthday to Sean Penn.
Oh, that's a tough one.
With two N's. Not
That's
Sean.
true.
But
R.I.P. to Chris Penn.
Yes. Footloose star.
I'll say 67.
67.
I'll go 68.
Carmichael Dave, 2-0. 62 for Sean.
Oh, wow. I thought he was much older.
Wait, hold on. Didn't Fast Times come out in 81?
81 or 82, yeah.
Yeah.
What was he, 18?
He's probably pretty young.
Sheesh.
Mr. Hand.
Mr. Hand.
All right, Donnie Wahlberg.
D Walls.
The D-O-N-N-I-E, the W-A-H-L to the B-E-R-G.
That guy.
52.
51.
53.
Dang it.
All right, how far do we go? You want to keep pushing it?
Hello.
No, but let's do it anyways.
John Gruden.
I don't know what to do here. John Gruden is 54.
59.
59 on the button.
Well, we
had 1 3 in a row.
Guess what?
Huh.
That was consolation.
Okay.
We already had ended it.
Rudy Gay?
34.
35.
36. We'll end there. You won 3-2.
That's right, I did. Ha, sucker. For
Sucker.
Jason Ross, for Jay Mars, For Child McChilderton in the other room, Kyle, we appreciate you. Tropic Thunder. I want to report tomorrow. Jim Roma's next. Bye now.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports 1140. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people that